Drivers, start your engines.
Welcome everybody to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, home track for myself. Not so much for my broadcast partner Ken Huber, but weather is nice out here. Not so much today though, it's been raining all day today, but I was at the race yesterday and it was nice blue, clear skies, a little bit hot, but after a short rain delay, it was a beautiful race. We are here in the Stone River Outfitters Cup Series, round number 19, I believe, of the regular season playoff, and we are just starting qualifying here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Magic Mile. Let me introduce from the booth out in Montana, Ken Huber. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how's it going there, Scott? Hey, it's going to be a great race. I think you mentioned that this wasn't my home track, but I have a little bit of kinship to it, being that it's a flat track. And I think you and I both love these flat tracks and always look forward to racing here at New Hampshire. And now I get to call my first race here. So I'm kind of excited about that. Kind of excited to see if Jeffrey Merck can make it 2 in a row after last week's win. So Jeffrey Merck seems to be on a roll here, but as you know, Scott, this is a driver's track, and it tends to be the best drivers will prevail here.
I think absolutely this to me is the epitome of a driver's track with the different kind of a progressive banking, different lines you can use, as well as I think the driver just has a lot of input and has a lot of influence on not only how fast of a lap you can do, but also the tire wear throughout the run. So I think if this is anything like the Cup race yesterday, tires were by far very, very critical. And I think a driver that can prove to save tires over a potential long green flag run is going to have the advantage. Right now we're looking at Vernon Margheim on the track. Almost scrapes the wall off there of turn 2 in the Haley Manufacturing Chevy. We'll see what he does here in a lap in a couple minutes.
Yeah, Scott. So I usually like to give out the weather forecast, and it's the typical 78 partly cloudy skies, but we do have a little bit warmer track than what we've had in races past. We're looking at 114 degrees, and I was able to get out there earlier. We didn't have the hot laps with Hubert tonight, but I was able to get out and run a few laps, and I can tell you that on cold tires, these cars are kind of a handful, and so that's something else guys will have to be cognizant of for the starts and restarts during tonight's race. So again, make some more drama out on the track tonight.
Yeah, I think another great storyline to follow tonight is going to be that, whoa, as we watch Greg Mall turning it around in turn 3 and 4, self-spin. That Freedom Fertilizer, brand new car we painted for him this week. But the storyline I was going to talk about is Justin Michael and Wesley Holland, as nobody is, everybody knows about the battle for the lead in the point standings, which we'll get to in a minute here, but we'll see who can put up together a solid night to hopefully extend a point lead. But that battle has been going back and forth for the last 2 or 3 weeks, as each driver has had bad weeks on various alternating weeks, it seems. So see if somebody can put a race together here and have a good points night.
Yeah, definitely. I think the points battle, like you said, we're 19 races into this. So, these guys are going to be really, especially the last 4 or 5 that are trying to get into this points championship. They've only got 7 more races this season to get it done if they're going to make it into that Sweet 16. So, I think this is where you got to, pull those belts tight, put on those gloves, and really put the hammer down if you're going to make this chase this year.
I totally agree with that. Absolutely. Looking at Greg Mall, round number 2, attempt number 2, I should say, off turn 4, across the granite stripe. We'll see where that puts him. P8 with a 30.8. Justin Michael, top of the board right now in that 87 Toyota, 30.4. I think that's the first 4 we've seen. Saw a couple 5s in practice, but great lap there by Justin Michael. David Schreck still waiting to turn a lap. Jeffrey Merck, certainly in the points hunt with 3 wins. Last week's winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Should be interesting to see. Looks like P4 for Jeffrey Merck, 30.7. He's on lap 2. See if he can rip a lap here second time around. See if it's any faster.
Yeah, as we watch him go into turn 3 and 4 here, I was noticing Merck during practice. He was going down to 4th. He was downshifting into 4th to get his laps done. We'll see if he's doing it now. We'll see what kind of lap time he does now as he crosses the line. See if he can pick up any spots here.
Don't think he does.
Yeah, I think he ended up a little bit slower that time. He actually, he was at 30.755 on that last lap, so a little bit slower. So
Rio 9 car, is that Mike Rondoloso? That's the one I told you I'd leave up to you, right?
Yeah,
Matt.
Yeah, I'm not looking at his name, so I'll probably mess it up now that you mentioned it. Put me on the spot. right before the race, I was thinking about him. I was like, oh, I'm not going to mess up his name. And then now I'm totally lost.
Yeah, we'll see who else is on track here. Jeffrey Merck trying to make another go of it. I don't expect him to be able to improve his position too much here.
Yeah, it's Matt Radaloso, by the way.
There we go.
Scott.
Well, we just lost him. And it looks like the checker flag is out for qualifying. Justin Michael on the provisional pole. And let's get some standings to work here for the starting lineup tonight. Justin Michael on the pole at 30.4 from Martinsburg, West Virginia. Heath Smith sharing that outside row with him. Wesley Holland, no surprise there from Colorado Springs at 30.5. Jeffrey Merck, Jack Watts out in Michigan, P5. Rod Mitten, we saw a lot of some fast laps from him in practice. I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. Michael Milfeld Jr. in P7. Greg Mall in that Freedom Fertilizer Ford in P8. Andre Savala in P9. And Joe Marks, one of our Crankenstein guys out of Reno, Nevada, rounding out the top 10.
In 11th is going to be Brian Bizzle. Now say that multiple times there, Scott. Talk about a name you can mess up there. So how many quarters are you going to add into the jar for him tonight? Right. Christopher Davis, the Canadian, going to be on his outside in 12th. Robert Mattis will be on the inside in 13th. Matt Rodaloso will start in 14th. Vernon Margheim will start in 15th. Jeff Gilmore start on the outside in 16th. James Brown will start in 17th. Charles Widener in, the Craftsman car will start in 18th. Josh R. Scott in that 32 machine will start in 19th. And Smoke Jason Hughes will start in the 20th position.
21st, Calvin Miller out of Ontario, one of our Canadians out there. 22nd, Bob Wells. And 23rd, Rod Quinsell from St. Petersburg, Florida. He was the last one that turned a qualifying lap. Now we're into the ones that are just set based on provisionals here. Billy Bumgarner, Charlotte, North Carolina. 25th, Trent Drum. 26th, Chris Howell. Dave Schreck in 27th. J.J. Garrett in 28th. Eric Talent in 29th. Kim Quick, our lead agman for the night. Not sure if he's actually going to race with us, but if he does, starting P30th. John Henderson and Kerry Cleaver starting shotgun on the field. That is a starting grid for New Hampshire. We're going 111 laps, I believe it is. Fuel window, from what I've seen, is roughly 40 to 45 laps tonight, Ken.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we didn't get a chance to get to the point standings, but I was going to make mention, and you mentioned it earlier, that Justin Michaels pretty much led the entire season, but he's had some struggles about mid-season here, and ended up passing the point lead back to Wesley Holland, or to Wesley Holland. Wesley Holland, though, had a rough go of it in Atlanta, had a bad pit stop or something. I can't really remember, but Wesley Holland gave back that points lead to Justin Michael. And if you remember, Scott, during the post-race interview last week, Justin Michael said how much he hated this track, and look at him, he's out on the pole.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to permanently, if he were to pull off a victory tonight, we're going to have to permanently take that out of his vocabulary, as it is obviously mine and a favorite of Ken Huber's as well. So.
All right, we're coming into turn 4 here. The lights are out in the pace car, and the boys are about to go green. We do have the Geico restart zone, so these guys can't go until the flagman waves that green flag. So very cautious here, waiting for as they're in the zone, waiting for the green flag to come out. Green flag's out. Justin Michael is away, taking Jeffrey Merck right behind him with him. Got Heath Smith in that 02 car down on the inside there.
Yes, looks like single file out pretty quick here on lap number 1. At least the top 10 or so. Looks like Rod Mitten in 92, putting some pressure on the 41 of Wesley Holland there. Brand new paint scheme for Wesley. We'll check that out as the night progresses here. Looking at the 02 of Heath Smith, which I should make a correction. That's actually the 1 car of Heath. You'll see it on the scoring pylon as the 1. He'll be the 1 car going forward. It looks like the 02 tonight on the racetrack.
Yeah, I was going to mention that earlier about that 02 car. He's got that sponsor now, and he got his number changed this week, and he's going to need a paint update on the car, so before NASCAR starts black flagging him, but at least I'm on top of him. It isn't what was it, a 70 car?
Yeah, Chris Howell, wherever he is. Looks like yellow flag is out, so already lap number 2 on the board.
Looks like the 88 car might have been involved there. Oh, speak of the devil. He's way off the pace there in the back of the field there, but I actually don't see any damage on that car. So
looking at Josh R. Scott, let's see here. Maybe gets a little sideways here. James Brown, 3 wide in front of him. Joshua Scott gets loose seemingly by himself there in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Kerry Cleaver in the 69 car, Home Designs car, gets involved in that. Looks like Trent Drum behind there. Yeah, 2 or 3 cars, 4 cars maybe involved in that one.
Yeah, starting off the night early here, Scott, with the cautions. Like I said, the cars are a bit sketchy there, at least on cold tires there. So, and as far as the 88 goes of Christopher Howell, I accused him of maybe being in that incident, but it actually looks like he just missed the start and had to start from the pit. So, trying to make his way to the back of the field here, and it just so happened he was at the back, and that's why I thought he was part of the action.
There's our guy now, Chris Howell in the 88. Vanatech Chemical Guys car coming to pit road. Interesting decision by him, I guess, but these guys got 5 sets of tires, so I guess why not on lap 4, right? I don't know.
Yeah, so while we're sitting here, Scott, let's take a look at that 7 car. So it used to be the Mill of Fortune car. As I understand it, you put a new paint job at Patent Paints on that machine.
I did. It was a cool project we did this week. So Greg Mall is the driver of that car. See it there in the blue and white number 7, Freedom Fertilizer 1776 from Yard Mastery. We're both, well, you're a lawn care nut with us, Ken, and
that's right. I was out admiring my lawn today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so Greg had the idea of throwing this together, so we did this car and came out pretty darn sharp, I think, there.
Yeah, it's an awesome looking car. I just have to get used to the new paint scheme.
Yep, no more Mill of Fortune. Little cloud cover over here before we go back to green. I don't know if that'll change the track conditions at all. Do you have an update on the weather report here, Ken? What is the track temp like?
Let's see what the track temp is doing right now. So we're still at 78 degrees. Track hasn't cooled down much. Of course, the clouds came out, but we're still sitting at 112 degrees track temperature. So cars are still going to be probably sketchy here unless the clouds stay out for a while. There we go. It just kicked down to 111 degrees. So it is cooling off with this cloud cover. So that'll give these boys some more grip tonight.
Just looking at back through the field here. Jeff Gilmore's car, Michael Milfelt started 7th, gave a couple spots on the start. Jeff Gilmore, though, currently gained 6 spots up to 10th, started 16th.
Yeah, it made some fast gains tonight, that's for sure there, Scott. Just looking at some of our other gainers there, Jason Hughes went from 20th to 13th, and Charles Widener went from 18th to 12th. So quite a few gainers, and we can talk about some losers too, but I don't think they'd appreciate it much.
Yeah, I see one nice. I see one big. I was gonna say. I see one, but I'm not even gonna pronounce his name because I'm gonna screw it up.
Anyway, they're getting it sorted out. So go through our top 5. Justin Michael still leading this thing, and he has chosen the outside lane to get this thing started. Jeffrey Merck on his inside, so just like we started this race, Heath Smith in that 02 car, actually the 1 car soon, hopefully by next week. In 3rd on the inside, Wesley Holland in that 41 machine, gave up points lead, like I said earlier last week, is in 4th, and Rod Mitten, lawn chair driving Rod Mitten, is rounds out your top 5.
Not to be confused with the lawn care nut on his outside in the 7 Freedom car.
Never to be confused. That's St. Augustine that the lawn care nut deals with.
Here we go. Lights out on the pace car. Let's try this again. See if we can get some green flag laps under our belts, which is what kind of New Hampshire is known for. Driver's track with tire wear and hard to pass place. Green flag is out. Lap 7 across the board. Justin Michael gets a great run side by side there, back in 2nd spot. Jeffrey Merck and Wesley Holland. No lack of love between those two there.
Yeah, and Wesley Holland on the outside, because Justin Michael's got such a great start. It allowed Wesley Holland to really take advantage of that and get on the outside of Jeffrey Merck, which is kind of the preferred line. And you can see that red 41 machine has gotten by, and we're under caution again there, Scott.
Again, lap 7.
Looks like the 111 car, perhaps. Maybe not. Maybe it's people slowing up here.
I'm showing David Schreck maybe in turn 1. And David Schreck gets a little loose there. Oh, collects Eric Talent. A couple others. Terry Cleaver, I think, unfortunately, getting the backside of that one.
Oh yeah, that was a tough hit for David Schreck in that 9 Attell machine. So no quick repairs tonight. So last week we had a break with the quick repairs. Although last week it was a really clean race there, Scott, at Atlanta. I was kind of surprised. Really clean race, and I don't think anybody really needed to use their quick repairs. But tonight they don't have them, so he's going to have to go in and get it fixed. Everybody passes pit lanes for the most part here. I'm watching, and it doesn't look like we have any takers left. Of course, they only got about 4 good laps on their tires right now, so we're 9 laps into this thing. So I got a shout out from Bandit Racing here. So they're like New Hampshire Speedway, a missed opportunity, a good place to build a fishing pond. Boo, boo.
You know, there used to be a couple. There used to be at least one pond in the infield in New Hampshire when they had some dirt. They've since repaved it and made some dirt park lots and whatnot on the infield. But there used to be a little bit of water, a little fishing pond on the infield.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go talk down to NASCAR there and see if we can get Bandit Motorsports into the longest line penalties.
I like that.
Issue that.
Maybe I should I'll add that to my quick button box. What do you think? We just,
yeah, that'll work.
Whatever car the camera's on, back of the line. I like it.
So Joe Marks, he started really well in 10th place. He just got a lucky dog going by the leaders there. So Joe Marks started in 10th, back there in 31st, kind of has already given up 21 positions. So some early trouble for Joe Marks after a great qualifying run. In that Marines, once a Marine, always a Marine, that red number 4 car.
Oh yeah. Looks like 2 to go. Justin Michael, I heard him on the radio, is taking the high side again. This time we're going to switch up in 2nd and 3rd. Wesley Holland made that pass on Jeffrey Merck. So Wesley Holland's going to start on Justin's inside. Jeffrey Mark and the Stone River Outfitters Toyota will be just to his outside.
And don't you hate that, Scott? You get all lined up in the perfect starting position that you want to be in, and then it goes green and you're like, yes, it worked out. And then a quick caution comes out and you find yourself, after you gain that position, on the unlucky spot.
Right. Especially when I find, it's funny you brought up Joe Marks. Years ago I always give him a hard time about this, but even when you like make a corner entry, right, you might give up a spot knowing that you have a plan to pass the guy on the exit, just to find out that the caution comes out in the middle of the corner, right? And the guy actually has that position on you. I give Joe a hard time all the time because a couple years ago in Phoenix, it was like that, and I think it was before we had green, white, checker finishes, so we knew if the yellow came out, it was the end of the race. And entering turn 3, Joe was in front of me for the lead, and and I heard people calling that they were wrecking behind, so I just gassed it and like totally overblew the corner in front of him just to get in front because I knew the yellow was going to come out, and he gives me a hard time about that one all the time, but it's pretty hilarious. Funny. It's like our fertilizer is getting up there in the dust on the outside there, cleaning up the track maybe.
Yeah, so our top 5 is pretty much unchanged. Justin Michael still leading this. We'll start on the outside. We got Wesley Holland on his inside in that red 41 machine. Jeffrey Merck on the outside, just behind Justin Michael. Teammate starting in 3rd. Greg Mall in that 7 fertilizer car. And then Heath Smith in the 02 machine rounds out your top 5. Lights are out in the pace car, Scott. So I'll let you bring him to the green flag here.
Here we go. Let's watch, I don't know, inboard. Go Greg Mall in that 7 car on the outside. It's Justin Michael, our leader on the outside there. Pacecroft turn 4. Full grandstands tonight. Lap 11 of 111. It's a whole lot of 1s up there. Restart zone on the wall there in the blue. There you see it. Justin is away with a clean start, side by side. For 2nd, Greg Mall with an awesome restart there in 2nd place.
Yeah, Wesley Holland challenging back on the inside, trying to make Heath dove it in there. And he's so far making a stick, can't quite get the momentum off the corner. 7 cars right there, getting the run down the backstretch. You can see how much momentum that offers being on the outside lane. You just can't get the power down on the inside there. But the 41 car is going to give it all he's got there, trying to get that position before he gets freight train there on the outside.
Great side-by-side battle back here a little bit further between Heath Smith and Rod Mitten, it looks like. Rod down in Swedesboro, New Jersey, fighting 3 wide there as Jeffrey Merck gets kicked back here with these guys.
Yeah, the 41, while all that was going on, the 41 did get by the 7 car on the outside now. I see maybe a caution. I seen a spin in the back. Yeah, that's, I'm not sure who that was exactly there, Scott.
See, David Hoots on our radio saying debris in 3 and 4, but we'll take a closer look and see exactly what caused that. Oh, Chris Howell in the middle of turn 1 and 2, loose all by himself. Eric, oh no, it's Josh R. Scott gets involved in that again. Trent Drum avoids him on the high side. But man, oh man, Chris Howell with a tough start to this race, missing the start and then now running into issues, self-spinning in middle of turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, so this is our third caution now, Scott. So these guys are really struggling on cold tires. You know, I think these guys will probably have to settle down here and kind of gather their thoughts. We might have eight solid hot laps on these tires, so we'll never get them warmed up at this pace. So this, like I said, like we mentioned at the start of this race, this is a driver's track. So you know, it's really important that you keep your head about you when you start off on these things, especially on cold tires.
Absolutely.
So I'm seeing if we're going to have any takers on pit lane here. As we're getting ready to pass pit lane entrance here, see, like I said, we only got about 8 to 10 laps on tires, so we're 15 laps into the race, but most of these laps have been under caution. 41 takes a look, but no dice. So most everybody is passing that pit lane entrance, it looks like, at this point.
Yeah, if you're live, Ken, if you want to double check that, it looks like guys are on the backstretch entering turn 3 right now, leader.
Oh yeah, we have the 69, the 18, and the 9 cars involved in an earlier incident on pit lane, but I think that's to repair damage.
Joe Marks going around the pace car. Lucky Dog one more time. P31 for Joey, having a hard time tonight, but gets another lap back. 4 laps down now.
So movers and shakers. So Greg Mall up from 8th into 3rd. So he was making a strong run for 2nd there. Wesley was able to get the best of him, but Wesley fought him to get back into 2nd place. And guess what? As soon as he got that 2nd place, caution comes out.
Yep. Caution was by Christopher Howell, which I say we take a chat with here once he gets caught up with the field on the front stretch here. Gets slowed up to speed, and we'll figure out exactly what his thoughts are on this cold tire situation, potentially causing some self-spins. Chris Howell, it's Scott Patton and Ken Huber up in the booth. Wonder what your view was there in the middle of turn 1 and 2. You're not the only one tonight, but we've seen a couple of self-spins. Is it just the lack of banking down there or the transition? Or is it something else going on with cold tires that is causing these spins?
I think it's a little bit of both. Cold tires plus no banking plus it's slick. It's a combination of all of the things you spoke of. And to be honest with you, I'm just really terrible at this track. That's why I try to stay in the back. So
all right, well, good luck. Hopefully the rest of this race goes a little bit better for you. I know you had a rough start with missing the start of the race there as well, but an early caution kind of saved you from that. But keep her out of trouble.
That was by design. I did that on purpose.
Okay, there you go. Start in the back of the pack, but yeah, keep the chemical guys Toyota clean there and spot free, and we'll hopefully talk you towards the end of this thing. Good luck tonight there, Chris.
Yeah, man, thanks. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
There you have it from
the driver's perspective.
From the driver himself. Lap 17, Chris Howell self-spinning in turn 1 and 2, but looking to make a better night of this. Another driver that probably wants to fill this place in, if I were to imagine.
Yeah. Love it or hate it. But Justin Michael, the complainer from last week about how he hates his place, is still out front. So I'm not sure that Justin Michael can say that. He's got Wesley Holland in 2nd place. We'll be starting on his inside there. Jeffrey Merck will start on the outside in that 60 machine in the Stone River Outfitter car. Greg Ball in the Fertilizer Machine in that 7 car. And then Heath Smith in the 1 car on the inside. Actually, it says 02, that yellow numbered 02 car.
Here we are, Justin Michael with another great restart lap. 18 on the board here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Justin Michael clears 3rd spot there, just up to the high lane. Great view from the top of the Busch Light Apple Ford of Wesley Holland. Another yellow on the board.
Yeah, they're coming up quick. So what I did is my cameraman wasn't showing me a live feed there, Scott, and I was talking, and then all of a sudden I heard green flag. I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit behind the curve there.
Yeah.
I apologize to you for that, and all the race fans out there.
Let's take a look. Oh, JJ Garrett sideways in turn 1.
Mr. Chaos.
Mr. Excitement himself. I don't know. Let's go cockpit view. Full speed from JJ. Nope, that's not JJ. Let's
Yeah,
go.
the 79
Oh,
car,
no, that
that
is.
Caterpillar car.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
That-
There's JJ. Inside, oh man, I think it is that banking. That banking transition between the first lane and that second lane, I think is catching a lot of guys off guard, especially with these cars being kind of a low profile tire and probably running a little bit lower on the track.
Well, one thing else I noticed, Scott, when I was out there practicing is the brake bias actually mattered here for a change. So it's the first time at any track where I dialed in brake bias and it actually worked. I could actually get the car to turn in. And if you maybe use a little too much brake bias, especially on corner entry, it was a factor tonight. So we got Marabella Rose giving a shout out to that 155 machine. Where is that 155 machine right now? So that is Michael Melfelt Jr. So it looks like we got a fan, and it says "Go Dad" from Marabella.
Here's Michael Milfelt with Federated Auto Parts 155. Good to see you out here, Marabella Rose.
Yeah, and right now Mike is giving up 7 spots, but we haven't been talking about him on the incident side of things. So, you know, if he can hold it together, he might have a good run. Mike can pull him off, that's for sure.
I think so. Let's see what his plan is as we talk to him. There he is. Michael Milfelt, Scott Patton, and Ken Huber up in here in the booth. Wondering, you got a fan out there. Marabella Rose is watching. She says, "Go Dad." Wondering, looks like you dropped a couple spots. Started 7th, currently running 14th on the Federated Auto Parts Toyota Camry. What's your plan in avoiding some of these yellows? Seems like a couple self-spins, but so far that Toyota's in one piece. What do you got going forward here?
That's it. Just keep it in one piece until these cautions quit.
Sounds like a good plan. What do you got,
Yeah,
Ken?
the question is, what do you think? Do you think they're going to quit tonight? So
Yeah, I think eventually everybody will settle down.
they'll run out of cars, in other words,
Maybe.
run out of parts and pit crew to fix these things.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy tonight. I'm hoping it settles down here.
Well, hey, you've given up 7 spots so far since the drop of the green flag. I know you run pretty strong, especially on the road courses. And this is kind of a driver's track, and I would expect that somebody like you would be pretty quick here. Are you just kind of biding your time? Like you said, I know you're waiting out the cautions, but you have some speed in that car as well.
I hope so. I got stuck on the inside lane for the first 3 restarts, so I kind of went backwards, but we're on the outside lane now, so hopefully we'll go forward after this.
All right, cool. Well, I'll give you back to Scott there and maybe put you back out on the track there.
Yeah, looks like 1 to go here. Lap 22 on the board. We'll let you get back to work and look to see you move up a couple spots here. We'll keep an eye out there for that Toyota Federated Auto Parts Toyota Camry. Good luck out there, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck. So, Scott, I've been accused by Bandit Motorsports of just now jinxing Michael Melfelt Jr. So, Marabella, if anything happens to him, it wasn't my fault. Justin Michael's still leading this thing on the outside. Wesley Holland on his inside. Greg Mall on the outside in that 7 machine. Jeffrey Merck will start on the inside in 4th. Rod Minton rounds out your top 5 as we are about to go green flag racing, hopefully for a little bit more time this time, Scott.
I think so. Let's go Jack Watts. I always like that paint scheme. Budweiser. Let's go on board roof cam with Jack Watts, and maybe we'll lead this restart into a crank it up session here. Lap 23 on the board. Watch your volume, folks, if you're a little sensitive, but we're going to crank it up here in New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Lap 23 going on the board. Justin Michael away. Here we go.
Oh, you got...
Well, we tried there. So Greg Maw got the probably the crank it up cam buried in the inside lane in turn 1 and 2 there. So well, I got to replace that camera, but we'll take a look here in a second what happened to the fertilizer. He was mowing some grass there in the infield.
Yeah, I like to call Greg Mall Clockman because he's only won 1 race this season at Martinsville, up another flat track. He goes and takes out one of our Scott Patton cameras there on the inside apron there. I guess he wanted some true TV time.
There he got it. Looking at Jeff Gilmore actually in turn 1 and 2. I think this may have been as the caution was coming out. Whoops. But Jeff Gilmore, I think, just having some issues with getting the car slowed up. We'll see if we can find what happened to, looks like JJ Garrett. Spun as well. Wow, several cars here. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. There is that one. No, JJ Garrett. That was from the previous caution. We looked at that one already. Jeff Gilmore. I'm having a hard time finding the Greg Mall incident here.
And he's thanking you right now for it.
Oh, I'm gonna find it, Greg. Don't you worry. There it is. Turn 1. Freedom Fertilizer around, locks up the brakes on the inside, at least doesn't overcorrect, does a nice job avoiding the rest of the field. But tough break for that car. Lose some spots, but no damage, luckily, to Greg Mall, number 7. How's pit road looking, Ken?
Yeah, pit road's pretty quiet. We got the 111.56, the 9 car. A lot of these cars are coming in. Just only 3 takers so far, but I have a feeling those 3 cars are still fixing damage and whatnot. So Joe Marks getting another one of his laps back. What I was going to say, though, Scott, there was a change up front. Obviously, Greg Mall spun out. That put Jeffrey Merck, teammate of the 87. Well, I think Greg Mall's a teammate with Bandit Motorsports as well, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so one of the Bandit guys had a spin out. Now there's only 2 up front. Wesley Holland in 3rd, and Heath Smith in 4th, and Rod Mitten in 5th. Somebody we really haven't talked about tonight is that Wendy's machine, 38 machine of Christopher Davis. Hails from the Great White North, you know, Hoserland, I guess they used to call it.
I think you
Probably
know more about
before
Canada
your
than
time.
I do. I guess I'm not that far from Canada. We're probably both about, you're probably a little bit closer maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty close to Canada, unfortunately. Just kidding there, Chris. But some of the older guys will remember the terms like, take off, you hoser. So you probably don't know what I'm referring to, do you?
I don't. That is for, we have a lot of New England sayings up here, but that is out of my textbook.
So isn't out there in New England, isn't that, what was that movie? Super Troopers? Super Troopers is right on the border too. I guess that was more Vermont. I think they're out of Vermont or something.
Yeah.
Well, lights are out in the pace car, Scott. I already called out the top 5, so Rod Minton rounds out your top 5. In 6, Christopher Davis in that Wendy's machine. Having a good run, made up 6 spots tonight. I was getting ready to talk about him. Jack Watts in that Budweiser machine. Back there in 7th, Andre Savala, holding steady, currently in 8th, started in 9th, so has made up 1 position. And the 309 car of Matt Rodoloso, Rodoloso, is up from 14th into that 9th position, and Jeff Gilmore rounds out your top 10.
27 laps. I think that's what the 4th caution tonight maybe already, so hopefully get some green flag laps. What I did notice, I don't know if you folks noticed on the broadcast, but there's a couple of drivers out there that are saving fuel already with the intention that if the fuel window is 45 laps, maybe they can, if this ends up going green somehow, maybe we can somehow stretch it to be a one-stop race. But we got to do a lot of saving. Some of those top guys are on top of that strategy, as here we go, lap 28, Justin Michael in the restart zone, and the Beretta Toyota Camry underway. Side by side for 2nd, once again, Jeffrey Merck with Wesley Holland pushing him from behind there.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Merck wanted to get that inside lane on that 02 car, Heath Smith, and he got it done. Wesley Holland trying to follow, and he does. Wesley Holland takes over that 3rd position. Now Wesley Holland is in the sweet spot. Should another caution come out, being in the outside on the restart. So
look at him sailed in the high side there. Jeffrey Merck gets the run on the inside, but Wesley Holland should have maybe a slightly run off the exit turn 4, but gets a little bit loose. Loses a little bit of momentum for those top 2.
yeah, 92 machine of Rod Minton back there in 4th, or fighting for 4th position with Heath Smith on his outside there. Rod Minton trying to make that inside lane work. The outside lane tends to be the preferred line, but so far Heath Smith can't get that pass done or try to get that position. We're under caution again too, Scott. And it looks like the 42 car is stopped. I believe 42 car was involved in that. Let's see who that was. It's Bob Wells. Yeah, and Josh R. Scott's involved, so I'll let you track that down here.
Yeah, oh yeah, there it is off turn 2. Like you said, Josh R. Scott and gosh, who is that yellow car? That 42? Oh yeah, you mentioned
that's
Bob Wells.
Yeah,
huh?
we haven't seen him around in a while, and yeah, we haven't given Bob Wells a shout out tonight yet, but well, you got it now, Bob.
Not the way he was looking for, but I have a good appreciation for that Thunder Road car, sharp looking car nonetheless. A tough break for Bob Wells. This is home track, so I'm sure that's one of the reasons he's showing up this race in particular. So good to see you out here, Bob. If you're listening, I'm sure you're watching the broadcast after the fact. Sorry, the TV time's probably not what you expected to have happen here early in the race, but hopefully get that thing patched up and back out here in no time.
Watching pit lane here, Scott. We do have about the second half of the field headed to pit lane here. I'm trying to figure out who the first one is. It looks like it's the 33 car, which is Vernon Margheim, will lead about half the field on the pit lane at the moment.
Here they come, 20 of Calvin Miller, looks like. Obviously talked about Bob Wells, Josh R. Scott coming to fix some damage. It's at least the second, if not third incident that Josh has been involved in tonight. Kerry Cleaver coming out of pit road. John Henderson down again. David Schreck, I believe, is back there.
Yeah, and it looks like most are, well, a couple are, looks like they took 2 tires, but Vernon Margheim, the leader on the pit lane there, took 4 tires. He's away from his pit stop now. So I guess that was only about maybe 7 cars that headed to pit lane there, 7, 8 cars.
So I'll say I was just looking at the pit stats here, and I was surprised to see that Brian Bizzle 6 times on pit road. I thought that was high, but then I scrolled down and saw John Henderson 9 times on pit road tonight already.
I wonder if that's just to top off fuel. You were talking about fuel strategy. Just to get the fuel, make sure they got fuel in it in case this thing finally does start going green. They'll be that much ahead of the leaders.
Yeah, when you talk about Vernon Margheim, I tend to think of Vernon as kind of a flat track racer, so I'm not too surprised that he's on top of the strategy. He knows exactly what the fuel window is. If you minus, let's say, 30, we've got roughly, 80 laps to go. Split that in half, that's a comfortable 40, which should be well within the fuel window. So I think if it continues to go green, these leaders may have a hard time keeping up with the fuel window, where somebody like Vernon is pretty much home free with a one-stop race going forward.
A couple other cars just came in, topped off the 8 car. Billy Bumgardner, we haven't talked about him all night in that 8 machine, that red and white Ford Mustang. Came in, topped off. He's coming out, and it looks like about 23rd or 24th place. And then I lost track. I want to say the 42. Now the 42's on pit lane for another reason. That was Bob Wells. He had the incident earlier, so now 2 laps down. So must be a lot of damage on that machine.
Lights out once again. 33 laps on the board. Jeffrey Merck, Justin Michael on the front row. Wesley Holland, Heath Smith on the second row. Rod Mitten and Christopher Davis rounding out the top 6. I do want to get into the points once we remember one of these times. Maybe the next yellow. We'll review the incident real quick, and then I want to go over the point standings, because when I was putting the point standings together, the graphic for tonight's race, one thing that stood out to me was Christopher Davis in particular. And with no wins on the season, but I believe he is in 3rd place in the points. Super impressive. He's got guys all around him with multiple wins on the season. So that says a lot about the consistency of Christopher Davis. No wins, but certainly a competitor every week, and somebody who keeps the car clean in one piece and takes a checkered flag every week. So nice job, Chris.
Yeah, nice job, Chris. Well, we're in turn 4. Pace car is about to duck in, and there it goes, looking for Justin Michael to hit that restart zone. And there he goes. He's away. Taking his teammate of that 60 machine, Jeffrey Merck will grab that outside position there. Side by side, the 02 car, Heath Smith, and that 41 machine of Wesley Holland makes the pass on that 02 machine and inherits 3rd. Or keeps 3rd, I should say.
There it is. We're out the backside of Heath Smith down the backstretch, looking at Rod Mitten and rounding out our top 5 right now. Single file, looks like a pretty good start.
Up front for the lead, Jeffrey Merck on the inside of Justin Michael. Dove it in there hard, trying to make an attempt there to get by his teammate there. So running pretty hard. We are, let's see, 35 laps into this race. They have not made a pit stop yet. Jeffrey Merck gets into that corner a little too hot there. That allows Wesley Holland to down on his inside. Wesley Holland down near the apron, trying to make that car stick. Can't get it done. Merck has the momentum. They get single file back out.
Great racing up front here. Awesome, awesome. See Wesley Holland, not sure if that's his, I think that's kind of his preferred line, which is similar to what Justin Michael is running. They kind of float way up high in the middle, kind of diamond in. Yellow is out once
79. Again. Mr. Chaos is involved in this one, so
turn 4. I have a spectator climbing the fence.
Take a look here. JJ Garrett getting loose in the middle. Yeah, looks like another Self spin by JJ in the middle of turn 3 and 4. There you see him getting sideways, loose. Good part of that is he keeps the car clean and keeps it locked on the bottom, locks up the brakes, and it looks like, from what I can see, nobody else involved. Trent Drum avoiding a backwards car for probably the 15th time tonight, it seems. But nice job by Garrett by recovering that.
Keeping the Tide machine clean. So the leaders just passed pit lane again, so still no pit stop, Scott. Interesting. I'm thinking that pit lane was open that time, so yeah, I'm surprised that they're still out there. We're gonna be 40 laps into this race at on the restart here, and nobody's taking advantage. At least our top 20 or so have not taken advantage of the pit lane.
Yeah, to me that screams that Justin Michael and Jeffrey Mark and all these guys up front probably think that track position is way more critical than having a little bit fresher tires, knowing how many cautions have been coming out tonight.
Well, that's true. That's what I was just getting ready to say, Scott. They're knowing that the cautions. Well, since they didn't hit pit lane, why don't we bring up that leaderboard, our standings for this season?
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, you wanted to mention, well, Justin Michael leads this thing. Wesley Holland was leading it last week, but Wesley Holland had some struggles. So Wesley Holland is in that second position, 14 points off the lead. Christopher Davis, what do you have to say about Christopher Davis there, Scott?
Yeah, same thing I mentioned, just no wins. As you can see, those checkered flags next to every person's name indicates how many wins they have on the season. Christopher Davis with none, but in third place solidly, and nice consistent effort by him.
Yeah, Jeffrey Merck is in fourth. He is 160 points off the lead. Jeffrey Merck has made up 2 positions in the points. He's had some off and on struggles, especially at the ovals this season, but last week, a good run, a good win for him. He finds himself in 4th place. In 5th, Greg Mull in that 7 machine, kind of been consistent, only got 1 win, and that was at Martinsville. That's why I call him Clock Man. James Hearns, that's Christopher Davis's teammate. Also no wins on the season, but up there in the top 6. 179 points out of the lead. Charles Widener is in 7th, 196 points off the lead. Jack Watts is in that 8th position, 204 points off the lead. Vernon Margheim led much of the season last year in points, is in 9th. He's up a position or so since we last talked about him, but he's 206 points off the lead. Kyle Chadwick in 10th. Billy Bumgardner out there in 11th, 216 points off the lead. Brian Bizzle, 237 points in that 12th position. Josh R. Scott in that green 32 machine, 250 points in 13th, 250 points off the lead. Rotten Minton, 255 points in 14th, off the lead. And then we got James 00 Brown, 292 points, separating him and the leader in 15th position. Rob Haynes in that 16th, that final spot into the chase is Rob Haynes. 4 guys outside looking in. Heath Smith, he's up front right now in that 02 machine. He's in 17th. Trent Drum in 18th. We talked about him tonight. Michael Melfelt Jr., I think his daughter was wishing him a good race tonight out there in Czech, is in 19th. And Christopher Howell rounds out your top 20. Those are the 4 guys on the outside looking in.
There you have it. Double file up. Restart one more time. Lights out. Down the back stretch. Awesome view of all these sharp looking paint schemes. Led by the Beretta Toyota Camry of Justin Michael. 6 wins on the season. No stranger to the front row here at Multi-League Racing. Pace car down and away. Let's get a view from maybe Jeffrey Mark's roof cam. Green flag racing here. Somebody to his outside.
Yeah, he's got that Heath Smith, that 02 machine, which will soon be the 1 car, but that right now it's that yellow, or that red and black yellow numbered 02 machine on the outside there. Now he's on the outside of Wes Holland. Wes Holland is trying to get by that 02 machine. Jeffrey Merck gets him clear there, and I think the 41 of Wesley Holland is going to do the same. It seems like Heath Smith is just being very cautious right now. As I
Jeffrey
see
Merck to pit road. What's going on here?
Yeah, I think Jeffrey Merck got a black flag there. So Wes Holland was all over the back of him on that restart, and I think he got black flags. So not sure what happened there, but wow. You got to be really careful with these restarts with this new restart zone that iRacing implemented here. What was it, about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I can tell you, I heard a little bit of yelling on the radio. It's a little bit low in my ear, so I couldn't understand what was happening, but if Merck's voice is pretty easy to understand sometimes, but I think that was him yelling on the radio, so not sure he's too happy about it, but see a little smoke in the back of the field. Not sure what that was all about off turn 4, but
As Jimmy Todd would say, just consider it one of those crazy NASCAR penalties.
there it is. I want to go back a little bit further in the field here. Jack Watts and Matt Rodoloso. Matt was giving him a little bumper there off of turn 2, it looked like, but some nice clean racing between a couple clean drivers. Jack Watts and Matt back here in 7th and 8th spots. And then Andre right behind him there in that CTC Waterworks Chevy.
Well, for the time being there, Scott, Bandit Motorsports, Justin Michael in that 87 machine has lost all his teammates. Slowly but surely, he's going to have to get it done by himself at the moment anyway. We are 43 laps of 111, so we're still not quite halfway in this race. He's starting to feel pressure from Wesley Holland, and Wesley Holland is no stranger to excitement himself. And I'm kind of digging that red machine tonight. I don't think I've seen it. I think that is still a Busch machine, but it's different colors tonight.
Yeah, new paint scheme we've seen from Wesley Holland here. Good view from the blimp here. I just want to show the difference in the lines and how much momentum changes throughout the corners here at New Hampshire. See how much higher Wesley is running than pretty much anybody else. Oh, almost gets into the wall on the turn exit, which is one of the downsides of running that high. One of the risks, I should say. But somebody like Rod Mitten seemed to be running a little bit lower in turn 1 and 2, but that time takes the high lane.
Yeah, I'm looking back to see how far Jeffrey Merck lost. So Jeffrey Merck, I'm going to have to wait for timing and scoring, but currently I'm showing him in 27th.
27th is what I show as well, yeah.
Just ahead of the leaders, and I'm sure he lost a lap, but I'm not showing it on my timing and scoring.
I don't
Scott,
think, he's on the lead lap still, so it's just I think it's probably a pass-through penalty, which allowed him to stay on the lead lap. You just got to wait it out, wait for the next yellow, and downside is at some point he's going to have to try to work his way back through this pack.
Yeah, and I'm sure to keep on the lead lap there, Scott, he probably was not able to get any fuel or tires on that car, so he's going to have to be on that same lead pack strategy too, so that's going to kind of hurt.
We're going to go back in the pack a little bit here, on board with Jeff Gilmore, trying to put some pressure on Andres Savala, I believe that is in front of him. This is for 8th and 9th spot. Andres in 8th up front there. Jeff Gilmore did a nice job. Yellow flag is out.
Put it out.
So I believe that was the 12 car. 12 car, let's see. That is Trent Drum. Oh boy, he was avoiding accidents tonight, but it looks like he found some trouble himself. Looks like a self-spin there, Scott, again.
Yeah, there it is right there. Trent Drum off of turn number 2 with the smoke show. Again, does a nice job of locking it down, not involving other cars, and getting it under control with, looks like, no damage, though.
All right, well, lap 47 here. I'm going back up to Justin Michael here to see if we got any takers for pit lane here. I imagine that they got to be thinking about it. Of course, if you know you can do 45 laps, here we go. It looks like we got our leaders in. So, oh, no.
Oh, with the fake.
Psyched out. So Heath Smith, the first one, Heath Smith comes in, pretty much drags the rest of the field with him, but the top three, the 87, Justin Michael, Wesley Holland, and Christopher Davis all stay out. I was just getting ready to say, Scott, as far as strategy goes, you know, if you can make it to lap, let's see, that would be lap 60 or so, you're pretty safe, so with one more stop. So that might be what these three guys are thinking. All we need to do is another 10 laps. There'll probably be a caution. We'll get our stuff, but we won't have to pit again.
I don't want to draw attention to him, but it looks like Michael Milfeld had a little bit of trouble getting onto pit road there. Overshot his pit stop by a good full pit length. I think he wanted to join Jeff Mark in front of him there. Had to back up quite a ways, but gonna lose a ton of spots here on pit road.
I'm still not going to take credit for jinxing him tonight. Well, that allows Jeffrey Merck to get back up to the tail end of this field, and that's exactly where he's at. I have a feeling that Jeffrey Merck did hit pits. Do you have that on your scoring there? Did Jeffrey come in for service?
Merck? I don't think he did. Gosh. He's made one stop so far, but I don't know is if it probably counted his penalty as one stop. So he's made, yeah, so one stop for 2.6 seconds, and that was 7 laps ago, which would have been his black flag. So he did not pit this time around.
Okay, so I was thinking he might have came in and got some new stuff so he can try to mow his way through the field, but I guess that's not going to be the case. But it'll probably be kind of fun watching him try to climb his way back up through. Actually, he's now in 10th with everybody pitting. That actually might not have been a bad move now that I look at this. If you look at the timing and scoring there, Scott, he's up to 10th. Getting closer to the leaders, so he's still be on their strategy. So
yeah, he's unfortunately going to be locked here with old tires against all the new tires that are going to be in front of him here. I was just going to get an interview, pull him up here to see what he thought about what happened there, but as I did that, I heard race control in my ear talking to him, so we'll let him be with race control, figure that out with the tower, and looks like we're probably coming on 1 to go. I'm hearing Jeff Merck laughing now, so.
Yeah, I'm hearing some, yeah, I don't know if that's a sarcastic drama type laugh. I don't know what's going on there, but
what the heck? Let's talk with him anyway. Mark, I wasn't going to interview you because I heard you talking with race control there, but it seems like your yells from 5 laps ago have now turned into laughter with race control, talking about what happened in that whole incident.
Yeah, that's that stupid restart zone. I guess I was barely in front of Justin at the start, so the black flagged me. Luckily, a caution came out, and I got back up here, so we'll see what we can do with it if it ever goes green.
Yeah, so hopefully get some green flag runs. Looks like you got some older tires, but middle of the pack here, so good luck out there. We'll let you get to work, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Hi, man. Thanks.
There you go, Jeffrey Merck. As we're in turns 3 and 4 here, getting ready to hit that Geico restart zone. The pace car getting ready to duck on the pit lane. Justin Michael will lead him on the outside as they head to the restart zone. Here we'll see Justin Michael's been hitting it almost immediately. There you see him go. Wes Holland trying to get a go. Look at up there, that 7-car Greg Hall again. He started the race up front. Had a self-spin out there during our Crank It Up session. Now he's up there in 2nd place, and I believe he's got tires on that car.
Yeah, awesome job by Greg. I know from experience that Greg Mall, one of his, I believe his home track is Richmond, Virginia, and it's a track that he does extremely well at. He's beaten me several times there. So no stranger to flat track racing. No surprise here to see him up front from the Bandit Motorsports camp with a new paint scheme. Maybe it's the fresh new paint scheme with the there's no bugs and mosquitoes and dirt on it, so maybe it's got a little more speed there.
Yeah, taking a definite lower line than the leader of the 87 car, Justin Michael there. So maybe I miscalled it there, him being on fresher tires, or just maybe there's just not that much wear in the tires because we haven't had enough green flag action out here tonight. But starting to make a little bit of gain on that 87 car, but not much. Starting to pull away from Wes Holland, though. Wes Holland was all over prior to that caution coming out. All over the back door of the 87 machine, but starting to drift back just a little there in that red 41 car.
Yeah, Battlefield lead heating up here as we go down the backstretch. What I am noticing is...
Oh, Mr. Chaos in the back. I don't know if caution's going to come out. He went into the inside wall there. Looks like we're still in the green. Sorry for interrupting there, Scott.
Oh, you good? Yeah.
Yeah, it was JJ Garrett. Looks like self-spin went off into the backfield. I'll bring us back to the leaders here. There's a good battle going on up front.
Yeah, back up front here, what I was going to say is Greg Mall's got about 25 lap fresher tires than does Justin Michael. I think he pitted after he got spun there, or self-spun, I should say, in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Side by side for the lead. Fresher tires and the fertilizer Ford on the inside. Looking at, oh, there's a car in the grass. Unfortunately, I want to say it's Michael Milfelt. Let's look at a quick replay here. We're going to go live replays off of turn number 2. How's that for camera work? Through the grass, Michael Milfelt. I'm not going to say it, Ken.
yeah, no, I'm not going to say it, but Bandit's already called me out saying, see, I told you so. Anyway, we're under caution again. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if that was Michael Melfelt. I don't think it was. I think he was able, I think that was another incident there.
Yeah, it looks like on the front stretch here, I've got it.
Looks like Merck
Calvin Miller
with that too.
Yeah, let's see what Calvin Miller does here. Turn 4, kind of self-spins. Rod Minton gets collected into the inside wall. Tough break tonight for Calvin Miller.
And Rod Minton. Rod Minton was having a great race. Let me see, how far did he end up? Rod Minton was up in the top 5 for much of the night tonight, Scott, I believe.
Yeah, he was running like 2nd in practice for a while. He really impressed me. I was looking forward to him being super competitive tonight, but caught up in a couple incidents here.
So Greg Mall out there on a little bit fresher tires. Christopher Davis, I think he's on older tires, and he's back there running in 5th. So I'm interested to see what we're going to have going on for pit lane now. So that leaves us with about 50 laps to go. A little over 50 laps, I guess, 55 laps, and they stay out. Again, I think that's a strategy, Scott. Make it till you...
I guess, but man, this concerns me that our leader has not made a pit stop this entire race, hence why he's pretty much led every lap, maybe unless Greg Mall maybe led 1 or 2 there, but correct me if I'm wrong, but man, the pit window was about 45, maybe 50 laps. Throw a bunch of cautions in there, obviously we're saving fuel, but still, if this goes green for another 10 or 15 laps, could our leader end up on pit road on a green flag and be crippling for the end of the race?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, if we do get that green flag run now, he could be in a lot of trouble. It's hard to say. I don't know. Judging by the way this race is going, though, I don't know. I think Wes is like, yeah, or not Wes, but Justin's thinking that we're going to have more.
But again, even if you're going to have more, you can make it at this point, right? So I just don't know.
Well, can you, though? So you got over 50 laps to go. So
I guess, yeah.
So I was thinking it was 45 to 50 laps. All these cautions, they can probably run 60, 65 laps. So get to that window where if it does stay green, you can stay out. I mean, it's working for Justin. I think that's the bed he's made, or some of our leaders, the role they have to play. Somebody like Greg Mall, who's on fresher tires, Greg Mall is going to have to come in again no matter what. So he's going to lose that advantage if there is another caution and all these guys come in.
That is true. I guess there's nobody on the racetrack, right? Nobody can make it, let's call it 55. No. How many laps are left here? 53 laps? So chances are if this goes green, nobody's making it 53 laps anyway, right? I guess that's the thought process, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Shout out here to, let's see, Josh R. Scott's impressing me. P4 up here, involved in a couple incidents, 4 pit stops on the night. 27 laps on his tires. Started 19th up to 3rd. Hats off to Josh R. Scott.
Another one that's went to the back and up front now is Brian Bizzle in that 18 machine, that Mac car, silver and black, running up there currently in the 6th position as we're about ready to get the 1 to go here.
That we are. Lights are out. One more time.
The chat is giving me all kinds of grief right now, Scott. I'm going to file a protest.
I say do we need to ban bandit racing?
I'm jinxing too many people apparently, yep. Where's my ban hammer? I can't do it on YouTube. Who is Bandit Racing 28 anyway? Which driver is that?
I think
is
that's
that
the
Maul?
captain. Captain, if that's you, give me a head nod or a thumbs up or something. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, Ken. I am beverageless, and my COVID recovery here still has a cough going. So I'm going to grab another beer. If you can take them to green here, I'll be back shortly.
Love to. So, yeah, so while Scott heads down to the stands, down to the hot dog stand or the lobster machine or whatever it is, to get a cold one, we're going to take you to the green flag here. Lights are out on the pace car. We're coming out of turn 4. Expect that pace car to duck into pit lane. Justin Michael start on the outside as we get ready to enter the Geico restart zone, and away he goes. Gets a great jump out there. Heck of a start. Got the 7 car a little lagging behind. Wesley Holland trying to get to the outside there. Greg Mall on the inside. Wesley Holland trying to make a run on that outside, but Greg Mall's got those fresher tires right now. And since my cameraman is basically focused on the leader, that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about at the moment. And I think I hear my co-announcer just step back into the booth here, so that's good.
That's it. We got beers, and we are back to work.
Heck of a battle just a little bit further back with Christopher Davis in that 5th spot. He's got Brian Bizzle and Heath Smith over there. Heath Smith on the inside of that 18 Mac machine trying to get that position away. Ducks up behind that Wendy's machine, but that Wendy's machine is in his way. Can't get the run he needs to get by that 18 machine. Just behind them, the 77 of Jack Watts and Jason Hughes out there having a nice little battle too. But still, side by side, Heath Smith, Brian Bizzle. Got the 38 car kind of holding them both up. Maybe it looks like 38 car is on older tires. Hey, we got a caution right now. So Looks like the 95
Put it out,
car
turn
of
4.
Charles
I have a
Wood
spectator
Whiteman.
climbing the fence.
All right, take a look here. Charlie Widener, yeah, side by side with James 00 Brown. Charlie just trying to pin it on the inside, avoiding some, the cars, gets locked down, no other damage to anybody else, gets it righted, and on his way. Tough break for Charlie.
Yeah, so there you go, Mr. 87, Justin Michael. I did not jinx Charlie because I haven't talked about him all night. So there you go. Hey, pit lane is open and Justin Michael is headed that way. So the leaders are coming in. So this must be what they feel, Scott. They can make it the rest of the way now. Get this pit stop, and we're going to have 50 to go. Well, 49 to go. Probably about 47 to go when we restart here. So I have no doubt that these, at least these top drivers will be taking 4 tires. But here's the risk that Justin Michael's going to find himself in, and our leaders, is a lot of other guys didn't pit. So they're going to come out. They'll be lucky to keep the top 20, and Justin Michael's going to have to come through a lot of traffic with everybody struggling on this track tonight.
Absolutely. When the cycle's back here with the guys who came out made earlier stops, I'm looking at Jack Watts out front, Andre Savala, Matt Rodoloso, Jeff Gilmore, James 00 Brown, Michael Milfelt. So a lot of cars that Justin Michael has not had to contend with all night. Should be interesting how he handles this field. Not only Justin, but these other guys too. Wesley Holland, Greg Mall, Christopher Davis, Josh R. Scott, I mentioned, has a really good run tonight now, mired back in traffic.
Yeah, and I don't think that the way that Justin Michael's handled this pit stop, that anybody that didn't come in on this round probably can make it all the way. So that's going to be another thing. So I think these guys just need to be patient, not force the issues as they're coming back through the field. But you never know when Lady Luck's going to come out and grab you. Exactly. Yep. Of course, now that I'm talking about Justin Michael a lot, so I guess I'm not jinxing Justin Michael.
So I'm looking at the chat here. I got Bandit Racing, which looks like the captain, Chris. He says, yes, it is indeed, Scott. So I'm on to you, Chris. And then he says, you just did. So I'm assuming that's referring to you jinxing drivers out here. Oh, yeah, that's what I do. They jinx themselves. They shouldn't be watching YouTube and racing at the same time. Right? I can drink beer and broadcast, but they can't watch YouTube and race. See, I want you to go to the, let's see, the 58 car of Jason Hughes. So we call him Smoke. And the reason is because usually he's sideways smoking the tire. So he's back there currently running in 21st. The reason I'm giving a shout out to Smoke is he's usually watching these races. And you know, while he's driving, he's usually watching. And you know, if he is not watching, he's usually doing well. And tonight he must be watching. He's back there in 21st. SRX, Bad Apple Racing, 58, sharp-looking car as always. The SRX series, Tony Stewart series, 6-week series on, gosh, I don't know, CBS maybe? USA? I don't know. But this week is the last race of the series, so it's been some awesome racing so far. I think Tony Stewart just went to victory lane at I-55 Speedway on Saturday night on race number 5 of 6. I believe he is the points leader. Also the owner of the series. Is that kind of like, Ken, is that kind of like when we put up races, like when you put up your series on Wednesday night and you're like, oh look, I won. No comment. Which I believe I saw the highlight. If I saw it right, you won this past week on road racing. Is that right? I won Sunday night. That wasn't my series. Sunday night. I can't take credit for that. But yeah, no, that was trying to think who won that. That was Crescent Cow won that last Wednesday. Anyway, lights are out in the pace car. 77 car, Jack Watts is going to take us to the green flag. They hit the Geico restart zone, and 77 cars away. Nice start there. Great start by Jack Watts. Side-by-side battle for second and third. Jeff Gilmore getting spun around here. Michael Milfeld getting involved. Gotta believe yellow's out. Andre Savala looks like just drove it in there hard and got into the back of that, I think it was a 02 machine, Heath Smith. Man, oh man, Jeff Gilmore with a tough night there. Let's look at it from Andre, maybe? Oh yeah, Jeff Gilmore, my mistake. Roof cam of Andre going into turn 1 here. Maybe just locks it up and gets a little bit high on the corner entry and gets into left rear of Jeff Gilmore.
Yeah. The only thing I don't know is if everybody else got away cleanly with that there, Scott.
I think they did. From what I saw, Jeff Gilmore did a 180 driver's side against the wall, and I think that's pretty much the end of the incident. I think it kept the racing line pretty clean down there, but.
Well, we have a bunch of cars headed to pit lane right now. The 155 of Michael Melfeld Jr., the 60 of Jeffrey Merck, the 00 car of James 000 Brown, all headed to pit lane. Get perhaps their final service of the night. The 95 car involved in that last caution, he's also on pit lane as well.
There it is, Jeffrey Merck also on pit road. I don't think he was involved in there, but not a bad time to stop. Make sure you can guarantee you can get it to the end of this race if it does go green. Looks like 4 tires.
Well, I'm going to be pessimistic like Justin Michael was doing the whole race by staying out. I think there's 0 to no chance that we're not going to have another caution tonight.
Yep, Justin Michael finding himself in 5th place right now. Nice job working through a couple cars, I believe, on that restart already. So knowing that those guys are on older tires and they potentially can't make it to the end of the race, I would say he's sitting in a pretty good spot with Christopher Howell right in back of him.
Yeah, that 88 machine was involved in a earlier incident early on this race. Like one of the first cautions, I believe, Scott. Now he's up there in the top 10.
That he is. You know what else? Surprise, surprise. Keeping it clean down there. Trent Drum. P7 right now. Awesome job for him. How many incidents have we seen him not necessarily involved in? I wouldn't actually not involved in at all, but just driving around and.
He had one self spin, and but yeah, most of them he's seen the others do the self spin. I think he learned from their example how to do it. So
yeah, but hats off for him for keeping the tied car clean here, and top 10 potential run here for Trent Drum.
Yeah, having an awesome run tonight as well, and he is up some. It looks like about 18 spots. Started in 25th, out there in 7th, just like Christopher Howell, the 88 machine just ahead of him, up 20 spots from 26 to 6. So. One of the big hard chargers of the night, that's for sure.
From Harmony, North Carolina.
Well, I see the fertilizer machine behind them as looks like we're given the 1 to go perhaps there, Scott. Jack Watts will start this thing on the outside. Our current leader, Andre Savala, will start out on the inside in that 86 machine. Vernon Margon, we haven't talked about him much tonight, but he's starting on the outside in that preferred line in 3rd spot. Matt Rodoloso starts in 4th. We haven't talked about him too much tonight. One of the new members to the league. This is his 2nd race, I believe it is, Scott. And Christopher Howell rounds out your top 5 in that 88 machine in 5th place.
This guy's doing a great job up front here. Jack Watts still holding the lead.
Now, all these guys in front of Justin Michael and Greg Mall are all on older tires, so we'll have to see how this shakes out here as lights are out in the pace car, about to head to pit lane, and they're about to hit that Geico restart zone.
Here it is, Jack Watts, your leader on the outside. Green flag is out. I believe Vernon Margon's got to be careful not to pass that 85. I'm not sure he's not gonna get a black flag from that.
I think he's okay on the outside like that. I think he'll be okay.
Wasn't sure if that was the same issue that Jeffrey Merck ran into as we watch side by side back here for looks like about 6th and 7th spot. Chris Howell, Greg Mall, Jeff Merck, all fighting for a position here with Wesley Holland looking in the distance.
Oh.
Christopher Howell 3 right on the bumper. Justin Michael 3 wide with Matt on the outside. Great job navigating that circus.
Yeah, Matt Rodoloso back there in that 309 car. Looked like he got tapped in the back and it was all over the place, and I thought he did a great job holding onto that car. Right now I'm watching Justin Michael and the 7 machine of Greg Mall just mow through the field right now. He gets on the inside of Vernon Margon there, battling for that 2nd position, just marching up front right now to get back into that lead position.
There it is. Impressive to even do it on the inside lane, which is normally the non-preferred lane, but that was Andre that he just passed last time. Now it's Vernon on the outside. Justin Michael up to 2nd. Greg Mall give him 3rd spot, chasing down Jack Watts in the Budweiser. Maybe you think Jack Watts can do a beer handoff as he passes him for the lead?
Perhaps. I don't know. They're both pretty competent drivers, right? But here we go. Just Michael on the inside there. Going to try to make it stick down here in 3 and 4 down on that inside line. Gets down in there, but that outside line, the 77 machine is doing a good job. Doesn't quite do it. Slide job happens. Justin Michael re-inherits the lead.
Yeah, it's tough position to be in there when you're trying to pinch that guy on the exit. You got to be super sensitive with that gas pedal. Treat it like there's an egg under there. But Jack Watts slips up a little bit in turn 4 and gives Justin a position, as now he's under attack by Greg Mall just behind here in the 7 car.
Yeah, and Greg Mall is probably going to be a little desperate to get by because he doesn't want to let that leader slip away, and he knows that 77 machine's on a little bit older tires, but is holding him up on that preferred line. So Greg Mall kind of struggling, not having the ease that Justin Michael had getting by here.
Great view of the passenger side of Greg Mall as a side-by-side here in middle 1 and 2. Jack Watts, you hear him feathering the throttle, man, and working the steering wheel all in the same view. And some awesome camera work there as Greg Mall's probably going to take it here in turn 3.
Give it to Clock Man. In that number 2 spot, 77 trying to make a charge back, but ain't going to have enough to get it there. And, yep, got that spot.
Back here, side-by-side again, Wesley Holland now trying to put down Vernon Margine for 4th spot. He does that. These tires, like we said in the beginning of the broadcast, are really taking effect and are a huge factor in this race. These guys with fresh tires, mowing their way up front.
We got Andre Savala, it looks like, involved in an incident here, spinning off the track, and we're under caution here on the inside wall in the backstretch there.
Looks like yellow is out once again. There it is, Christopher Howell and Andre getting together. And unfortunately nails the inside wall there off of turn 2.
Yeah, it was a hard hit. He's getting that car towed back to the garage there, Scott. Yeah, it looks like he might have checked up for the 309 car, got a little squirrely there, and he probably seen that, checked up, and then the guy behind him got in the back of him, so. Well, here we have it. So question is, Jack Watts, getting past on the older tires, wondering if he's going to be headed to pit lane and take some of the guys with him that didn't come in, that aren't probably going to make it. Although with all these cautions, though, Scott, you never know. These guys might have enough gas in the tank.
Yeah, Jack Watts to pit road. There's your answer. It's a lonely pit road down there.
Yeah, him and it looks like the 18 car, Brian Bizzle. Oh, he's got a few takers back there, but these are some of the guys that have been struggling already. The 8 machine, the 111, and the 12 car all on pit lane as well.
Yeah, Trent Drum back there. I gotta say, for this race, what I'm impressed with is how many people have been up and down the leaderboard, right? Between the, kind of makes it an interesting race when we do have these many cautions, unfortunately, but gives a good chance for people to have different shots and try different strategies. And I'm not convinced that the fastest guy, Justin Michael, with leading the most laps so far tonight, is not convinced that he's necessarily going to walk away with this thing for sure.
Yeah, it's always a possibility, especially we're talking about New Hampshire there. Although he's shown quite remarkable skill here tonight, Scott. I know I've mentioned it before, but he wasn't too confident when we talked to him last week about coming here. I also got to say, I know Greg Mall's been pretty strong tonight, but that 41 machine, anytime that guy can see victory lane out in that front windshield, he's going to take the shot. So
absolutely, especially if it means passing Justin Michael for it. So.
Yeah, and also that 41 machine is going to have the preferred start in that 3rd position. He'll be able to he'll be on the inside there. Yeah, I guess he'll be on the inside there, Scott. So. Oh, no, I got it backwards, right? So that'd be the 33 machine on the outside on the restart?
33 on the outside, yep.
Yep.
Justin Michael calls the outside that time around, so he'll be starting the outside. His teammate Greg Mall on the inside.
But I have a feeling with Vernon Margine starting there in 4th that Wesley Holland won't have too much trouble getting by that 33 machine. So, like I said, Wesley Holland always strong out there in 3rd position, so I know he's looking at it. Greg Mall has been strong all night. Greg Mall, one of the few drivers that spun himself out because I was accused of jinxing him or something like that, according to Bandit Motorsports, perhaps. During our last Crank It Up, he is back up front in that 2nd position, so no, he's got a strong car out there tonight.
That was our last crank it up, but unfortunately it was short-lived because we had a yellow come out. I don't want to jinx it, but let's give it one more shot for this restart. What do you think?
Oh yeah, let's do it. So before we get the crank it up going, we'll round out your top 5 here. So Justin Michael will start on the outside. On his inside, his teammate Greg Mall in that 7 machine. Wesley Holland on the inside will start in 3rd. 33 machine of Werner Margheim. On the outside there will start in 4th. On the inside, 02 car of Heath Smith. And Matt Rodoloso kind of had some struggles on that last restart, but he is on the outside in 6th. In 7th, Christopher Davis. In 8th, the 88 machine of Christopher Howell. Josh R. Scott in 9th. And Rod Minton will round out your top 10 as we're about to do some crank it up.
Here we go, folks. We're going to try this one more time and crank up the volume. We're going to shut up for a little bit. I'm going to take some sips of beer and enjoy the race, folks. Lap 80 going on the board of 111. Justin Michael with commanding start here into the restart zone. Here we go with crank it up. Hey, it looks like yellow flag is out. We got a couple incidents to go through here. As Wesley Holland, we're looking at that battle, was heating up for the lead. That was going to be a good one. I'm sure it's not over yet with 83 laps on the board. Yellow flag out once again. I've lost track of how many yellows there is tonight, but
I haven't. 13. 13
there you go.
Tonight, Scott.
Let's see what causes yellow. Gosh, lots of cars sideways.
I know what caused it. What happened on the last crank it up there, Scott?
We're gonna Charlie Winder getting turned around here in middle of turn 3 and 4, and then Greg Mall there getting caught up. But that's not the only ride that Greg Mall took. As we watch them side by side for the lead here, this is a replay. But off of turn 4, oh gosh, I lost him. No. Off of turn 4, Greg Mall mows the grass in the Freedom Fertilizer Yard Mastery car. And then that leads right into Charlie's spin right in front of him. All right, we are back live. 84 on the board. All these guys off the pit road.
I'm just catching up to that, Scott. That's why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at you, Greg Mall. I am laughing with you. I'm laughing at the pain. Yeah, so tough night for Greg Mall. So that's 2 crank it ups and 2 Greg Mall incidents.
Bandit Racing 28 again in the chat. Chris says it's probably the reason for Greg's spin.
So
we're talking about him too much, right?
That's right. One thing I'll mention there, Scott, I talked about the 41 of Wes Holland being out front. I'm getting blamed for the incident again, so that's cool. I don't care anymore. But anyway, the 41 car was starting to move all over the back of the 87 car during that crank it up after Greg Mall's spin there. So that 41 car, like I said, if he can sniff that victory lane, he is going to try to find it. Those are your 2 point leaders. So 1 and 2, imagine that. 2 leaders, 2 top guys in the points are the 2 top guys of the race currently.
Not to mention through all of the cycles of pit stops and half the field pitting and half the field not, we're looking at these guys are on the exact same tire strategy. So both have 22 laps on their current set of tires. So it should be an interesting head-to-head battle here as we go green next time, or probably a couple laps from now, with roughly 25 laps to go or so.
So a shout out in chat there. Hey, is Wesley Holland Sr. out there? So curious curious if Wesley Holland Sr. is watching the race tonight and seeing, rooting his son on, see if he can bring it to victory lane tonight. Do you have a pick tonight there, Scott?
At this point, gosh, let me take a quick peek here. Vernon. My gut says Vernon Margheim. He's got 6 lap older tires than these leaders, but up 12 spots. Started 19th, up to 3rd. No, started 15th. I'm sorry, up to 3rd right now. I'm going Vernon Margheim, fan favorite for the win.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm kind of liking that 02 car. I've always liked Heath Smith out there. We'll get his number changed hopefully by next week because he's actually in the 1 car now. But that 02 machine out there, that black and red car, and the reason I'm calling that is because I think Wes and Justin might get to racing a little hard here towards the end of that thing, and that might give one of our back 2 picks there, Scott.
That was exactly part of my decision-making process on this. I'm not sure that there's that these guys are going to have all the fenders on this by the time this thing is over, but lights are on the pace car. 86 laps on the board. Let's go from Ken's pick of Heath Smith on board for the restart. Here we go. Front 2 leaders. Justin Michael on the outside with a great restart. Again, Wesley Holland on the inside, and we're on board with Heath Smith.
As they go into turn there, Wesley trying to get the advantage on that 33 machine of Vernon Margheim, trying to get by him, trying to get him cleared so he can make Justin Michael his target. Couldn't quite get it done there. You can see the outside lane there has the advantage, even though that Vernon Margheim is on those older tires, but we're getting down to showtime now, so Vernon is giving it all he's got at the moment. Still side by side. You know, it's got to be frustrating, Scott. You're on a little bit pressure tires. You see the leader up there. You know you're as fast as he is, but you're down stuck on that inside lane and can't get the momentum, and you're just slowly watching that leader slip away. There we got Wesley Holland getting a little bit of advantage there. Yeah, just a slide in front of Vernon Margheim there. Gets it done there. So tight squeeze there for that 41 car.
Yeah, good job by him. Like I said, he was probably super eager to... Oh, Justin Michael drove super high on that. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I can't imagine it would be. I thought that lane was reserved for the fertilizer man of Greg Mall. But back here, Wesley Holland, I'm sure you're as eager to get by because you know this, Ken. If you get stuck on that inside lane and that car continues to pinch you on the inside like Vernon was doing an excellent job of, that can also play a factor on your tire wear for the run and actually ruin, not only are you watching the leader step away because they've got a clean track, but you're also losing your own tire advantage. Definitely, and we just... we had another caution here. It looks like the 155 car of Michael Melfeld Jr. Not sure what happened there, but there was also a great battle while that was going on with the 02 machine in 33. The 02 was trying to make the same move that the 41 did, but 41 now going to start back in second again. He keeps getting that inside lane. Of course, I think he's probably going to appreciate that a little bit better. He might be able to get the jump. Yeah, we're looking at turn 1. I'm seeing Trent Drum and David Schreck involved in incident here. Trent Drum gets a little sideways, a little loose on the low line there into turn 1. David Schreck, unfortunately, that Alltel Ryan Newman themed car gets involved. A little scrape to the outside wall with that safer barrier. Shouldn't be too much damage, especially with these composite bodies now in this next gen car. But hopefully David can get it righted and back underway here. Yeah, I guess during that caution, the reason I called Michael Melfeld Jr. out is because he actually got sideways during that caution too. So I guess we didn't catch that one. So it looked like he was going in turn 1 there, 1 and 2, and the car just steps out on the bottom of 2 there, and around goes Michael Melfeld Jr. as well. Yeah, I'm looking at a quick replay. What came up on my highlight list here of Michael Melfeld. There it is. Yeah, it's all by himself. So sideways in turn 1 and 2 and locks it up. Yeah, tough night for Michael Melfeld Jr. So I know I'm getting accused of it, but I've been talking about Justin Michael and Wesley Holland a lot. And those guys have been running up front all night. So Chris in the chat says, watch out, Wes. He's going to get you next. Back there, our top 5, Justin Michael, Wesley Holland, Heath Smith, Vernon Margheim, and Christopher Davis. Christopher Davis, 3rd in points. Having another quiet, clean night there, Scott, on that Wendy's machine. That's what he does best. And that's what I'm talking about for a consistent way, at least a consistent door to the playoffs, which is coming up in about 6, maybe 5 races from now. I think 6 races. That's what you need, and Christopher Davis is certainly in the hunt, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him turn the heat up here as the second half of the season approaches.
I don't know, Scott, we're going to have about 18 to go under caution, or before the green flag drops, or are we going to be able to do this caution free to the end?
Gosh, my prediction would be about green flag racing until like lap 109, and then Wesley Holland and Justin Michael bounce off each other and sets up a green white checker flag for Heath and Vernon to the finish. What do you think?
That'd be exciting for us, that's for sure. We could feel like we were out there racing, Scott. We make those calls.
That's true. At least if I was in fourth or fifth, like or third and fourth, like Heath and Vernon are, that's what I'd be hoping for, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like Jeffrey Murphy has made a comment out in the chat. I think he's a little upset tonight. There's been some drama out in the track. Hey, sorry for the tough night there, Jeff. I know you'll get him, man. We just Scott and I are trying to watch all the stuff. Action on the track is just a lot to follow, that's for sure.
Lights
are
out.
out the pace car.
Look at that. Like minds think alike or what?
Yeah.
That's worth another sip right there.
It is. So stand by for the silence while we take a sip.
What are you drinking out there, Ken? I got a good New England IPA here, hazy IPA.
Normally I'd be with the simple Corona on a summer evening, but it cooled down today. It was rainy and cold, so I grabbed a Guinness. It's my go-to.
Ooh, heavy one.
Yeah, it tastes and feel heavy, but it's actually a pretty light beer. All right, so we're entering 3 and 4 here. We got Wesley Holland now on the inside of Justin Michael here in that number 2 spot. And he's probably hoping he can clear that 33 machine, who is in third and has that preferred line as they get ready to hit the Geico restart zone.
We're going to take an interesting view from back of Justin Michael's car because we can. Another great restart here. Lap 94 going on the board. The entire field here behind them, side by side, 2x2x2. Wesley Holland looking to fill that gap with the fresher tires on the inside of Vernon Margheim. Again, wants to waste no time as he tries to clear Vernon off turn 2. Does it? Vernon, somebody going on the inside. I think Josh R. Scott, if I had to take a guess.
Michael Jr. too behind them. And we're under caution. Well, this is going to add to frustration for these drivers, Scott.
Man, oh man, oh man. So yeah, Michael Milfelt gets turned around the backstretch. David Schreck on the brakes hard, locks it up into the passenger side of Michael Milfelt. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Josh R. Scott. Inside of Jeff Gilmore, just self-spins, maybe a little bit too much wheel in it. Man, tough break there for Josh R. Scott, who had a great run early in the top 5, running 4th or so, and now finds himself mired back in the pack with damage. Probably terminal damage, looks like, on the left front of that Ford.
Yeah, those cars are definitely in big trouble tonight. Well, at the start of the race there, Scott, I had done some practice laps, and I did mention that these cars did seem pretty sketchy on cold tires. I don't think we've run enough laps to actually even get the tires warm tonight, and I don't know, these tires might be pretty sketchy. I really did enjoy the way the car was driving tonight, but it is kind of a handful, and I think maybe that's catching some of these drivers off guard.
Certainly.
Track temperature is cooled down to 97 degrees, so there should be more grip out there, but like I said, it's still a struggle for a lot of these guys as we get into the later afternoon there. And of course, the sun has gone behind those clouds again, so we'll have about 14 to go when we take the green flag. So definitely is time to pull those belts up tight, as they would like to say, and see if we can get it done. Now, I know Wesley would like to see this go green for a little bit so he can at least work on the leader, but Wesley spends all his time, he's running in second, spends all his time battling the third place car of Vernon Margheim, and then the caution comes out about the time he gets him cleared. And so it's kind of like a re-rack, restack, and that does lead to frustration sometimes.
Absolutely. I'm a little bit surprised that somebody like Wesley Holland, I would almost think that he would be a little bit more aggressive on these restarts. I'm sure he's afraid of jumping the restart and getting called for that and then throwing his race away for sure, but somebody like Justin Michael, I mean, we've had umpteen cautions tonight, has pretty much done what it looks like the same thing every time with getting the huge jump. And at some point, if you're Wesley Holland, especially as the laps tick down, you got to kind of be telling yourself, I can't be letting him get a 3-car length lead every single restart, and then like you said, Ken, get mired in traffic and side by side with Vernon and waste another 3 laps trying to get by him, and then make the time back up to Justin. At some point, there's not going to be enough laps in the race to make that happen.
Yeah, and I think in Wesley's case, he's seen what happened to Jeffrey Merck early in this race, got the black flag, and I don't think Jeffrey Merck did anything wrong. I think Jeffrey Merck just got on the throttle early. He didn't make any passes or anything like that, and he caught himself and backed it back up, but it was too late. He already got the black flag, and I think Wesley Holland has got that in his memory banks, and that's why Wesley Holland's starts hasn't been as good, because I think being down on the inside like that, you're kind of in kind of a difficult situation on these restarts.
Yeah, we're on board right now with Wesley Holland. Probably hear him putting the clutch in here on the front stretch and throughout the corners. So maybe a little bit concerned on gas. He's been 34 laps so far on this stint of tires, plus the 13 laps remaining. That would put him at 47 laps. So maybe a little bit concerned about fuel, especially if it comes down to a green-white checker, which at the rate that the caution's been coming is certainly a reality here, possibility. So Wesley Holland playing it smart, saving as much gas as he can.
I wonder too, Scott, I know the lights are out in the pace car, so I'll make this quick. One of the strategies I've learned over the years is sometimes you want to keep a little bit of extra weight in the rear of that car and not get the tank too low, because that helps you with the rear brake bias and stuff like that, keeping weight in the back of that car. So you might be doing it for that reason rather than saving fuel. So
that's a good point.
Another strategy is I'll let you take him with the green flag. Pace car about to hit the pit lane.
Yeah, let's go back in the pack here a little bit. On board with, I don't know, let's go Jeff Gilmore. A little bit mired back in traffic. Christopher Davis on his inside as the green flag comes out in the restart zone. Lap 99 going on the board. Rod Mitten to his inside.
Yeah, very poor start there by Wesley Holland there in that 41 machine, but he did get it cleared, but just not a great start at all, but it actually kind of worked out in his favor. Heath Smith almost took that position away, finds himself in third. Vernon Margheim slips back to fourth, and Wesley Holland all of a sudden to the inside. I think Wesley Holland black flag.
Wow.
So the same thing that just happened to Jeffrey Merck. Wes Holland, I was just talking about it. And there's the jinx. I give it to Bandit Motorsports there.
Wow.
I just jinxed Bad Apple Racing there.
That is pretty incredible.
And I think that's exactly what I was talking about, Scott. You got to be very careful. Oh, there was almost an incident back there.
Rod
so now
Mitten
he's
getting loose off of turn 2 sideways. Yep.
Yeah, so Heath Smith trying to run down our leader. He's down on the inside. I don't know if that's the best place to be for Heath Smith. Kind of hasn't been a strong car out there, but been in the top 5 all night, but hasn't shown like the ability to get up there and make passes. So I wonder if he's been saving and can get up on that 87 car. Kind of taking a little bit lower line here as we're about to have 10 to go here next time they cross the line.
Looking at battle here. Jeff Gilmore stuck on the inside, almost gets loose off turn 2, saves it. Awesome job there.
Caution.
And the yellow flag is out once again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Looks like maybe the 00 car. I'm not saying that officially. I'm just trying to figure it out.
00 looks like involving Greg Mall here. Yeah, I heard James Brown just that time around say sorry to smoke. I think he, from what I could tell, let's rewind this one more time here because Rod Mitten's involved as well. Yeah, there you see it. Let's pause it and get to the right car here. And Greg Mall, James 00 Brown just on the inside of Jason Hughes there. There we go, full speed middle 1 and 2. Just drifts up into Jason Hughes. Greg Mall gets in the back of him. Brian Bazell gets in the back of Michael Milfelt. Ron Mitten gets spun around, carried clear up to the wall. Trent Drum, there he is again, avoiding wrecks in the back of the field. But tough break for a lot of those guys.
I think the boys are going to be pretty anxious to get these cars in the hauler and get home after a night like tonight. We're 16 cautions into this race. I would say the majority of this race has been run under caution, and I can hear the radio chatter. Drivers are starting to get a little frustrated. We want to get this thing in the books. Right now, our top 5, it looks like Justin Michael's still leading this evening. Heath Smith now will find himself starting probably on the inside there in that second position. Vernon Margon back there in third. Christopher Davis in that fourth position, the Wendy's machine. And then Matt Rodoloso will start in fifth in the 309 machine.
The sharp-looking Exalta car by Matt there.
Yeah, and I'm sure Matt's going to be anxious to get rid of the rookie stripe. So in the league, in multi-league, rookies to the league have to start off with the 300 number until they prove themselves. And he's only got, I think, about one more race to go, and he'll be able to strip himself of that 309 number and get rid of those rookie stripes. So that's rookie stripes for the league. There is any car with the 300 number.
That it is. I'm looking at something. Speaking of rookie stripes, we're on top of Matt's car, he's the rookie with the 300 number. We're looking ahead to Christopher Davis in fourth spot, and Christopher Davis has rookie stripes on the back of the Wendy's Camaro. What's up with that?
I don't know. I think Christopher Davis likes to make a statement.
That's pretty funny. At least he has an excuse, right? If stuff happens on the track, he's like,
I
hey,
think
I'm
that's
sorry, I'm a
exactly-
rookie.
I think that's exactly what he's thinking.
We're on to you. Third in points, Chris. No rookie here. I'm on to you.
I think that's a way you can tell the other drivers, give me a wide berth. Even though Christopher Davis is kind of a veteran driver now at this point. So last year, I don't know if you remember, Scott, I know you were busy racing and I was racing there last season as well, but Christopher Davis he would never qualify and he'd always start from the back of the pack. I used to get on him about that. And I said, Chris, man, you're a good driver. Start qualifying, get up front. And I'm not sure. Let's see, Christopher Davis. Let's see where he started tonight. And he started in 12th. So, he's been qualifying this season, and now he's up in that fourth spot. Of course, according to Bennett Motorsports, talking about that Wendy's machine this much will probably put him in the wall on as we get our 6 to go.
Jeff Merck in the chat. I'm sure he's watching the broadcast now that he's unfortunately, is he out of this thing officially, or is he yeah, he's out of this thing. 32 laps down. He says we're doing a great job, Ken, and beer's on him. I think I'm going to take you up on that, Mark.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how he's going to get that to Montana. I'll give you my address.
I don't know what's a shorter line from Florida. Is it Port? No, where's Mark? Port St. Lucie? Where you at, Mark? Anyway, in Florida, east coast of Florida. I'm not sure if it's a shorter drive to New Hampshire or Montana.
Well, the star of the show, we're going to have 6 to go, has been Justin Michael all night in that 87 machine. Going to have Heath Smith in the 02, trying to take that away from him, but I don't know that he's going to get it done. That 87 machine's been strong all night. Lights are out. The pace car is about to duck into pit lane. They hit the restart zone.
On board with Vernon Margon here, down low in 5th spot. All over the back bumper of
Heath Smith,
in
and what
front
I'm
of him
worried
there.
about, that was a very similar start to Jeffrey Merck and Wes Holland there, so I'm going to be curious if Heath Smith's going to be headed to pit lane to clear a black flag on this lap. Looks like still going strong. Doesn't look like he's waving any intentions to go to pit lane. Chris Davis on the outside preferred line, trying to get that position taken away for a second there. Having an awesome run at the moment.
Heck of a battle here. Oh, there's a car in the wall back there. Off of turn number 4.
Still green so far there, Scott. Oh yeah, hard hit there. I'm not sure what car that was. It just caught it.
That was that body armor car. I forget who it was that we talked about earlier tonight, but back, let's go back a few cars here. It looks like, well, there was a 3-wide battle. Sorry about the computer glitch there, but there was a 3-wide battle with Matt here and Greg and Michael Milfeld, I believe, off turn 2 that time.
Yeah, in that battle with Christopher Davis and
Michael Milfeld inside. Man, gets loose there. That looks pretty terminal there. Gets loose and inside wall of turn 4. Still under green with just 4 laps to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Oh wow, yeah. Poor Michael, he's having a tough night tonight. So, as I was getting ready to say there, Scott, that battle with Heath Smith and Christopher Davis sorted itself out. Heath Smith got the better of it. Back out ahead of Christopher Davis, trying to run down the leader. 87 car, 3 laps to go. Can that 02 machine run that leader down?
That is the question. We haven't talked about lap times all night, but this time around, 30.7 for Heath, 30.8 for Justin. Gained a tenth or so with just 3 laps to go. I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Trying to remember, too, Scott, who picked that 02 car tonight? Who was that?
Who was that? I believe They're from the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
2 laps to go. Justin Michael out front.
Got about 6/10 on that 0-2 machine. Heath Smith desperately trying to run him down. You can see on opposite lines, Heath Smith doing pretty well to keep him there in view and about the same distance, but not really gaining on him, taking that lower lane there. So we're under caution. So we're going to have a green-white checker. I have to figure out what happened back here. It looks like the 00 car involved of James 00 Brown.
Yeah, it's take a peek. Kerry Cleaver I'm showing sideways off a turn in the middle of 1 and 2. That's at least one incident.
Yeah, and James Brown looks like he gets loose off 2 here and spins it around into the infield wall there.
Yeah, I don't have any info on James Brown. Oh, here we go. Yes, James Brown in the middle of turn 3 and 4. This is after the other incident, so I believe this would be the cause of the yellow. Looking on the inside of Joe Marks there on the start-finish line. And then into turn number 1, James Brown's the car on the inside there, the 00. And I don't see any incidents. Oh, there he goes. Off turn 2, self-spin to the inside wall. Another tough night. We see him involved in a couple incidents tonight. But no damage on that 00 Sunday Night Series sponsor car.
Yeah, tough break. And speaking of James Brown, since his name has come up on our highlight reel, I can't jinx him now because he's already had his incident. But James Brown will be starting the 87 series here in a couple weeks there. Right now we're running the 90s GTP cars, road racing right now on Sunday nights. But on Sunday nights, that'll go back to James 00 Brown. He's going to be running some classic 1987 machines, and he's going to do a full season there. Old Cup Series, old style oval racing.
Nice. So 87s on ovals, is that the plan?
Yeah, and I think it's he's probably got it set up for some past season. I don't know. I haven't talked to him recently, but he usually sets it up for the era back then. So there might be a road course racing there or two, but I think it's specifically geared towards the old Cup Series.
Well, we got a couple laps to green here with a green-white checkered finish coming up. Talking to Christopher Davis right now in the 38 Wendy's car. Did you know, I'm sure you know, but what's up with the rookie stripes on the back of your car? That's what I want to know, Chris.
That was an oversight on my Trading Paints selection.
We were just making comments about Matt, who is the actual rookie in the 309 car. And at the time, he was just behind you, and I was like, I think that's pretty hilarious that Chris, as veteran as you are, third in points. We're talking about how consistent you are and how you don't have any wins on the season, but a threat every week in the top 5. And knows how to take a checkered flag in the top 5. So here's no stranger here in New Hampshire Motor Speedway, but we're joking how the rookie stripes may lend you to having some excuses when things go not your way.
I like that reasoning. I'm gonna keep them on there.
Right? I like it too. But nonetheless, we're going to, lap and a half here to green flag with a green-white checker finish. It's been a long night for all of us. Lots of cautions. You've managed to avoid, I believe, pretty much all of them. The Wendy's car looks clean out there. What do you got for, anything for Justin? We got to get this 87 car out of the lead. What do you think?
Oh, I don't think I have much for Justin. I might have something for Heath, but I'm just trying to keep Vern behind me, hopefully.
All right, I know you guys are buddies back there, so looking forward to it. I'm sure there's going to be a great heated battle between the three of you. We'll keep an eye on it, and good luck out there.
Yeah, I got a question for Chris here. Let me see. I make sure I'm live here before I ask. Hey, these restart zones, is that kind of tough tonight?
Well, Justin's hitting the gas at the very last second, so it's kind of ruining everyone's start because he can't pass him because he starts on the outside, so.
All right, yeah, I was just curious about that. All right, well, I'll let you get back to it here.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right. There you hear it from third place, Christopher Davis. Maybe we'll watch this restart from his cockpit view because we can, and why not?
Justin Michael will take us to this green-white checker here, starting on the outside there. Again, Heath Smith, Covington Motorsports out there having a strong night. Starting second, Christopher Davis will start in third on his inside. On his outside, Vernon Margheim. 7 machine just behind Vernon Margheim there, and Jeff Gilmore back there as well. So 7 machine has made up positions again somehow.
Merck says he's going to FedEx beer. It's in the chat. It's proof. Written proof, Ken. Jeff is FedExing beer to us. Green white checker, Justin Michael off to a great start once again. Piles up behind him there.
Yeah, look at Jeff Gilmore on the inside. Going to make it 3 wide. I thought there for a second on the inside of Christopher Davis. Greg Ball looking strong out there. Gets a little sketchy there. Can't quite get it done. Look at Vernon Margheim go. Passing my pick. Dang it, Scott. What's going on?
Who picked Vernon? Let's go.
Some guy off the West Coast.
Side by side, that heated battle like I talked about, Christopher Davis gets knocked back to, well, a fifth spot here as the fertilizer car passes on the outside. White flag this time around. Next flag will end this race. Vernon Margheim.
We made it to the white flag, so this race is going to be official now at this point.
Vernon Margheim trying to look for a pass here. Not sure he's going to find his way around, but all kinds of battles throughout the field.
Oh,
Car bouncing off the wall in turn 2.
Jack Watts hard into the outside wall there.
Nonetheless, Justin Michael, Vernon on the outside has got nothing for Heath Smith. Justin Michael across the line for win number 7 here. Smoke in the back of the field. Heath Smith second, Vernon Margheim third, and Greg Mall, the fertilizer car. Great run up and down the leaderboard for him tonight. And fourth, Christopher Davis rounding out the top 5.
Brian Bizzle gets 6th place. Up and down night for him. Jason Smoke Hughes, another tough night. Comes back with 7th after starting in 20th. Jeff Gilmore in 8th. Matt Rodoloso 9th, and Charles Whitener rounds out your top 10.
I gotta say, for a rookie to the series, another great run by Matt. Hats off to him. Maybe involved in an incident, minor incident here or there, but great run to stick with it. And yeah, awesome to see him here. Boarding him down on the front stretch, that would be win number 7 for Justin Michael here in the Hampshire Motor Speedway. Boarding it down on the granite stripe on the front stretch.
You gotta be getting tired of making win stickers for him there, Scott.
We got a what? I couldn't hear over the burnout there.
I said you gotta be getting tired of making win stickers for the A-pillar of that car.
Not only am I tired, but we'll show it in a little bit. I'm not only tired of it, but Justin was saying I'm not sure that there's room for any more because we got there's a federal sponsorship on the back side of that car, and there's borderline not any room for any more stickers. But we'll find a way. The patented paints. That's what we do. Justin Michael burning them down. We'll get the standings here, finishing order, get things wrapped up, and we'll be back here shortly to talk to our top 3: Justin Michael, Heath Smith, and Vernon Margheim. Stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, with our 3rd place finisher tonight, man, a heck of a run tonight. Vernon Margheim, what I like to call the fan favorite. 3rd place finish in the CTC Waterworks Chevy. Up and down the field, pit strategy, avoiding wrecks. Gosh, I don't even know where to start with the highlights for tonight for you, but certainly involved in a lot of stuff, but awesome run to see you. That pit strategy, I was worried. 59 laps on your tires there, but different pit strategy than the leaders. How did that last green-white checker look for you?
Well, let's rewind a little bit. First, that pit strategy didn't need for that to happen, but I saw how long the guys were staying out that were running up front. They seemed to be fine. So we decided there's a few of us to pit and just stay out, and it kind of worked out in my favor, I think, a little bit because I was mirrored back, had a bad qualifying run, running in the back most of the night. Believe it or not, guys, 0X, no incident throughout the whole night. Stayed
Holy
out of trouble.
smokes.
Unlike, some other people
I'm
out
sure
there.
there's plenty of guys in the field that needed to borrow your X's that you didn't use.
But
Yeah, I'm going to have to check through the DQ'd list to see how many actually made it tonight and made it out due to incidents.
I tell you, the last 3 or 4 restarts, the trick was, for me, I needed to be on the outside. I needed to start fourth. So I got pretty fortunate for a few of those restarts to start on the outside. But towards the end of the race, I was starting on the inside in third. So that last restart, I knew I had them. I thought I had a chance at second even, to be honest with you. But this old GTRsimulator.com Chevrolet was fast tonight. I got to thank the guys out in Washington State, CTC Waterworks, Haley Manufacturing, for all the filtration systems and automated fruit packing lines. That's the place to go. They know everything there is about warehousing and what have you. And of course, GTR Simulator, guys, $200 off right now. Go check them out. You can get a new wheel and pedal set and a sim rig with a $200 discount. There's nobody out there offering discounts on sim rigs like GTR is. That's GTRsimulator.com. If you have any questions, give old Ray a call down there, 888-9-GTR-SIM. And you guys up in the booth, man, you guys do a phenomenal job. We want to thank you.
We're trying. Appreciate it, Vernon. I think for that discount, they got to enter Vernon Margheim sent you. That'll give you the discount code. How about that?
Yeah, 10-4. All you got to do is really just give them a call. They're an American company, believe it or not. And they have stuff in stock, and they can ship out the next day. So you got to like those guys up there at GTR Simulator. That's what I'm sitting on right now. Gosh darn it. It's got me another top 3 finish in the multi-league Cup Series. And I just got to keep on clicking off those top 5 scores.
That's what I was going to say. It's certainly paying off here, and it's awesome to talk to you. I know we talked to you, whether it was last week or the week before, but what I like to call a fan favorite, because always in a good mood, Vernon Margheim here. One win on the season from Auto Club, race number 2. It's been a little while. Would have loved to see you up there for the win, and I'll admit you were my pick for the night. So
thank you. I appreciate that, Scott and Tim. If it ain't without you guys, there'd be half the people here, man. You guys put on a great show, and we appreciate it.
We appreciate that. We love to hear the feedback.
Like watching you guys race.
Yeah, it's and the other cool thing, I don't know about you, Vernon, but Ken and I were talking earlier that the cool thing about broadcasting is we can drink and race at the same time.
Yes,
and we make fun of the guys who are watching the YouTube stream and watching the YouTube stream and trying
drinking my water and ice.
But nonetheless, anybody, I think you went through your thank yous for the most part there. But what do you got? Where are we off to next week, Candy or Vernon?
We are at Pocono.
Pocono, another flat track. Gosh, that's got to be right in your wheelhouse. What do you think?
It's going to be another, it's these braking tracks I have a knack at. It's just, I think the trick is I got to get that qualifying a little bit better. And once I got that hand down, I think we'll be contending for some wins again.
I think so, certainly. I think you got another couple of wins in your future here before the Cup Series finishes up here. Certainly looking strong and steady going into the playoffs here. And good to see that GTR Simulator car out front for another podium finish at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Congrats, Vernon, once again.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
There
was Vernon Margheim.
Yeah, it's Vernon. We're going up to Mr. Heath Smith, finishing second tonight, Ken.
Hey, Heath, congrats on that second place finish there. You know, Scott mentioned that 33 machine who finished in third was his pick, but you were my pick tonight to win it all. So tell us how your race went tonight.
Oh man, it was pretty exciting. You know, with all the cautions, the pit strategies was just I didn't know what to do, to be honest with you, and just tried to keep the car clean and not over drive the corners and run into anybody, make no enemies, and just slowly and surely took care of the car and made my way up to second. So
that you did. Hey, and that was a good job. So I noticed at the start of the race, though, you were giving up a lot of positions, and it looked like you were struggling out there, but after seeing you make a run on Justin Michael there, you looked really strong at the end. So I think maybe that was your plan, that you were kind of taking it easy and letting those guys try to burn off their tires.
Yes, sir. I noticed in practice that the tires would, wear out pretty good here. And I was just trying to take care of it, not overdo the car, and make a run, have a more long run car than a short run car.
So were you expecting all the cautions tonight? Because I know Scott and myself, we were thinking we weren't expecting this many cautions, maybe a few, but it was quite impressive with the amount of cautions tonight.
Yeah, my short track background, that's normally all I run. The Cup car is kind of new to me, and typically here you don't see many cautions in the other cars. I don't know if it's the you can brake so hard in these cars now. you can be more aggressive getting in the corner. Maybe that was the issue. Not really sure. I was surprised by all the cautions because typically 1 or 2 a race with this group, and that's about all we have.
Yeah. So, hey, next week we're headed to another flat track, bigger track, Pocono. You have anything for these guys at Pocono next week?
I hope so. I haven't had many races there, maybe one. So we'll see. Maybe I can get a chance to do a little testing this week and see what we got.
Well, it's definitely no short track. Hey, one thing I'll say is I noticed there in Facebook and whatnot that you're able to grab that number 1 for your car. Are we going to see that number 1 on the side of that thing next week?
I hope so. Working with Scott with Patent and Paints, and I'm hoping he can get me hooked up next week and get me a new wrap on the car, and we'll go from there.
I'll tell you what, Heath, I got that's on the top of my list now going forward this week. We're running a little bit behind this week, but if I knew that the number of your car was where you were planning on finishing tonight, maybe I would have finished the 1 car a little bit sooner for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll work. Great.
But the 2 car finishes second. Great run by Heath here, and good to see you pretty much up front all night tonight. Great run.
Thank you, guys. I want to give a quick shout out to Chris Durham with the Chris Durham Show. Y'all check out his podcast. And then, of course, I want to thank Multi League and all the admins for everything they do for us. Stone River Outfitters for the sponsoring the Cup Series here. And then, of course, Patent and Paints for giving me this cool looking paint jobs that I got on my car now with a sponsor, Ken. And, of course, you 2 guys for all you do with the broadcast. It's absolutely amazing. It looks great.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
We appreciate that, Heath.
Yeah, good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Heath Smith with a podium finish, finishing in second spot. We're up to our race winner, Justin Michael. Number, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the season. Dominating run all night. Great restarts, phenomenal restarts. Looks like a lot of guys got a kind of a hand slapped for some of those restarts and the restart rules. Do you think from your standpoint, I know you kind of ran away with the lead there, but was the restart zone and the new iRacing rules, did that play a part of any of the troubles that you saw guys having?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly figured that A, I wouldn't win this race because I'm terrible here, and B, this would be either like a tire or a fuel mileage race. I didn't think it would come down to restarts, really. But yeah, I mean, we nailed them every time. I don't even know how many yellows there were. I don't know how many restarts we had, but we got.
I think there was around 17 or 18 to be exact.
Well, I think we were up front for all but 2 of them there after we pitted. So, but yeah, it's definitely the restarts were key, and yeah, I think guys just trying to get a little greedy, trying to get ahead, and it bit. I only thought it bit 1 of them, but I guess it got 2.
Yeah, at least 2 of them. Speaking of pit stops, we noticed you stayed out quite a bit through lap, I want to say 60 or so, 55 maybe. It kind of threw me a little bit off guard, but Ken and I were talking about the strategy and trying to make sense of it and trying to figure out where you guys' heads were, but were you just pretty much waiting until you knew you could make it on 1 stop? Was that the plan, to wait for another caution to fall?
Exactly, yeah, because the way it was going, we knew it was going to go way past the pit window, and looking back on the Martinsville race, I don't even think the winner pitted there at all. So at first I was going to try that, but then we started getting a couple runs that were 5 or 6 laps, and that really killed that idea. But yeah, then it was just wait until we got close to the end, or for a final pit run, and we could stop and not have to go back in again.
Cool, sounds good. Starting from the pole tonight, dominating run. Dominated every restart. Nobody really had a challenge for you other than, cycled through pit stop strategy and whatnot in the middle of the race there, gave a couple laps, but plowed your way through the field there, not plow, but worked your way through the field with fresh tires. Watched that restart was exciting, watching you and who was it there behind you? Maybe Greg, also on fresh tires, I think, behind you, working your way through the field, but awesome job all night. I told Ken, I called it from, I think it was the pace lap before the race even started, that if you were to win this thing, that you have to take the phrase that you want to fill this thing with dirt is no longer part of your vocabulary, I should say. So as a home track...
I want what you're having, Scott.
Right?
What are you drinking?
I have trouble talking on a normal night, never mind. With all these cautions, I had to grab another beer, so...
Well, that's so fine. We won't fill it with dirt, but we can still fill it with water. Make a lake.
We can fill it with water, maybe bourbon. What do you think, bourbon?
I mean, that's for you. You can go swimming every day. Have some fun.
I like it. So Congrats on a win at my own home track, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Dominating fashion. Win number 7 on the season for your continued points leader. Again, we talked about that battle in the points lead between you and Wesley Holland. Wesley Holland gets stuck on the restart with a big black flag penalty, finishes 17th. Looks like it's the final verdict. What do you got next week for Pocono between for that points battle with you and Wesley going forward?
It's going to be real fun. I really like Pocono. It tends to be a boring race, but I do like Pocono a lot. I always run up near the front, so we're looking forward to it. Run some practice races probably this week, kind of get used to the setup and stuff and see how it runs, and hopefully we'll put on a good show next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Anybody you got to thank for this week's another win number 7 on the season?
Everybody out there watching, you guys for calling a good race as always. Kim for putting on a great leg, and Sky, you for painting an awesome car again. I hate to put you to some more work putting another sticker on there, but hey, we appreciate you.
The details matter here at Patented Paints. We will do that for you. Win number 7. Congrats, Justin Michael. We'll talk to you next week from Pocono.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
There we have it. What do you think, Ken, of New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Kind of a caution-filled race, but an exciting race nonetheless. A little bit of drama. Saw guys up and down the field. Saw guys have great runs early on. Comes to mind Josh R. Scott, Trent Drum taking the turns on the front of the field. Jeff Gilmore, kind of an average run, like was in top 5 for a little while, ended up finishing 8th. But speaking of standings, let's see what let's go results. Yes, they are working. Cool. Well,
yeah, so we went through Justin Michael, Heath Smith, Vernon Margrime, top 3, Greg Mall, 4th, Christopher Davis, 5th. Brian Bizzle finishes in 6th. Jason Hughes has a nice comeback tonight after starting in 20th, finishes 7th. Jeff Gilmore finishes 8th. Matt Rodoloso finishes 9th. Charles Widener rounds out that top 10.
Jack Watts, saw him on the front of the field battling with those old tires, put an awesome battle for the lead there for a couple laps, trying to hold off Justin from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Christopher Howell in 12th, Rod Mitten in 13th, Billy Bumgarner 14th, Robert Mattis, didn't see much of a whole lot of him tonight, but from Colorado Springs. Joey Marks, several laps down. I wonder how many laps down he ended. Lead lap, wow. Lead lap Joe from 4 laps down.
16th, yeah.
Wow, talk about lucky dog. Get him
Lucky
back,
dog captain.
Joe. Wow.
He was 6 down. He was actually 6 laps down early in this race and made up all those 6 laps. So that just shows you how many cautions we had.
That is certainly impressive. Wesley Holland, the battle up front. The results don't speak for his effort tonight, but starting the top 3, battling the top 3 all night, and unfortunately that restart penalty nabbed him at the end of the race with no time to pretty much make it up. From Bad Apple Racing, Colorado Springs, our second place person in the points, Wesley Holland. Trent Drum in 18th. James Double O Brown saw with making a couple of the highlights, probably on the highlight reel as well, from Mendota, Illinois in 19th, and John Henderson in 20th.
Gary Cleaver in the 69 machine finishes 21st. Last car on the lead lap tonight. Going back 8 laps down, Michael Melfeld Jr. started off good tonight. About mid-pack, was kind of running up and down, and then had struggles started towards the second half of that race, and ended up 8 laps down in that 22nd position. Josh R. Scott finishes in 23rd. Troubles for that car. Same thing for the 9 machine. A lot of these cars all in trouble tonight. David Schreck, 24th. Eric Talent, 25th. Andre Savala had some late race troubles. 41 laps down. Finishes in 26th. Calvin Miller, 27th. JJ Garrett, Mr. Chaos, finishes 28th. Started in 28th, so I guess that's fitting. Ron Quincell finishes 29th. Bob Wells finishes in 30th. Jeffrey Merck, last car to finish this race, 116 laps down. Tough break for Jeffrey Merck to get last place after running up front tonight there, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. There you have it. That's a wrap at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm sure a lot of these drivers are happy about that, to pack up the truck and head back down south. Not too far south as we head to Pocono Speedway for next week. Another track that I would love to run if I was racing.
One of my favorites, Scott. I love Pocono. The shifting in turn 3 is just one of the best things ever. Tunnel turn, it's all great. All great out there.
Yeah, just a wide track. We saw it's known for that wide straightaway with the restarts. Are going to be super exciting. 3, 4, maybe 5 wide. Diving into turn 1, just 3 different corners, 3 different characteristics. And again, just another driver's track where a driver can make a huge difference on not only fuel mileage, but tire wear And looking forward to that one as we head out next week. You can see it right here on Multi-League Racing Network. Race number 20 on the season. We're closing in on the playoffs win over the point standings, but that battle for the lead is certainly heating up. Excited to see how that works out. Another, we talked about the beginning of the night, but man, another tough night for Wesley Holland. We knew it was going to be, well, historically, it's been one or the other, right? Justin Michael or Wesley Holland. And this week, the rabbit bit Wesley Holland, looks like.
Yeah, Wesley Holland having some struggles, but we both know Wesley. He'll get it together and he'll be out there. One thing about Pocono, it drives like a road course. So it's one of those ovals that I think we'll start maybe see some of our road course guys running up towards the front on that race next week as well. So I'm kind of really excited about Pocono, as you could probably tell there, Scott.
Absolutely. One of my favorites too. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to bringing the excitement to you here on the Multi-League Racing Network. You know how it works. Next Monday night, same bat time, same bat channel, 8:30 Eastern time. All the coverage for you at the Stone River Outfitters Cup Series, multi-league racing style. We'll talk to you then. Until then, on behalf of Ken Huber, myself, Scott Patton, have a safe week, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Don't hold his hand. Teach a man to fish. Was it buy a man a fish he eats for a day? Teach a man to fish he fishes for a lot. He eats for a lifetime.